Happy Friday, everybody, here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, heading into a big weekend in Jacksonville, including where we are today. Aromas on the south side. Get a good smell, some of those cigars. And we are inside. We'll have the video feed up and working in a moment. Having a little bit of an issue with that if you're watching on or listening on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. But you can listen to us in your car on ESPN 690, on the stream, ESPN690.com, and all the various platforms that we are on live. And we're here until 6 o'clock tonight. Come on out and say hello. Big weekend here with Stogy Fest. We were here a year ago, just on the outside. This time coming down the inside, and some parties going on all weekend, including Sunday, a big day right here at Aromas. So check it out. Swing by even this afternoon. Brett Martineau, Austin Lane, and rookie minicamp for the Jacksonville Jaguars underway here today. Now, it's not really open for anybody to see, so kind of privatized workout for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tomorrow, the media gets about an hour to see what's going on with the new rookies and with the coaching staff. And so there will be plenty coming out tomorrow afternoon. Make sure you stay tuned to Action Sports Jacks, TV and radio and social media for all the updates from Trevor Lawrence in the rookie class's debut in Jacksonville. But, you know, it's interesting, Austin. I was thinking about this today. It's not just the rookies and the undrafted rookie free agents, those guys that that are new to the squad. It's really the coach's first time out there, too, like as a unit. And so I think that part's a bit interesting. I don't even know which one is more important for, really. I think to get a feel for the coaching staff, for Urban Meyer, for everybody to be out on that field, I think that's a big moment for this coaching staff, too. They've been assembled now for a handful of months, and now they get to hit the football field.
No, absolutely. There's a lot of excitement for a lot of reasons. You know, I mean, you have coaches that are in new positions of coordinator spots. You have first-time head coaches. You have, obviously, new players to this team being rookies. So it's going to be different for a lot of people, you know. And I think when we talk about that, the biggest question I had going forward with Urban Meyer is, how does he come out of the gate? Does he push this team right off the get-go, or does he acclimate the young talent to get ready for training camp? I hope it's the latter. I hope Urban Meyer takes his time. You know, I mean, you're not going to win a Super Bowl in one practice. It's going to be, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But I am curious to see how Urban Meyer handles his first couple practices here with the rookies.
Yeah, and we'll see a little bit of that. Like I said, I don't know how much you can really do. It's a first impression for everybody, and of course for the players it will be. And I would imagine a little bit of nerves and butterflies, and the first time out there in a professional uniform. All the things, the newness of it, the first day of school kind of in essence, and the Jags players will feel that. And then there's another level to it when all the players get there for the mandatory minicamp, although I do think now over the next month, few weeks, they'll start rubbing shoulders with the veterans inside the building, whether it's in the weight room or wherever else, as this thing goes along. So this is just the start. It's kind of like the next phase. We talked about this so much for the last 5 months. It was the anticipation of Trevor Lawrence, the anticipation of what Urban Meyer is going to do, what the staff's going to do, how they could potentially be. Well, then the draft came. That was kind of phase 2. And in my mind, this is the phase 3 part, the next month or so as this team gets together. And then we'll get into the real part, and that is in late July and August. And then, of course, to the regular season. So what does get accomplished this time? I mean, you were there in 2010 for the Jaguars rookie minicamp. I don't know how much has changed in the last decade or so, but I mean, what are they going to get accomplished here over the next few days for these young players?
You know, from the acclimating part of it, obviously these players have been here for a little bit now, going through spring conditioning and all that stuff. So they know each other. It's not like it's not like we don't know who everyone's name is. So you're okay from that perspective. But it is your first taste of a real practice. Now, once again, is Urban Meyer going to turn up the heat right away and push these guys? Maybe eventually, but I think it's going to be just a slower process of getting acclimated to the scheme, the playbook, all that stuff, because you're going to install a new offense. You're going to install a new defense. It's going to probably be a little more complicated and a little more difficult than what you ran in college. So it's going to be a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of guys getting mentally prepared, also physically prepared as well, because it's probably going to be hot these next couple of days. Some guys may not be used to that. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening, but at the same time, it helps, in my opinion, when you have coaches going through this the very first time as well, because they can kind of feed off each other and learn off each other.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit of a tone setter for everybody involved. Should be a beautiful weekend weather-wise for the rookie minicamp, so they will have that to go on. And again, how much do you need out of this rookie class for the Jacksonville Jaguars? Well, it's apparent with one of them.
Yes.
You need really good play from the quarterback position and Trevor Lawrence. I would think you need more from ETN as well. I think he's going to be a big part of this offense, and whether he can have teams game planning for this offense and whether they can have playmaking ability on this offense, as Urban Meyer's talked about speed and playmakers for the last few months when it comes to offense. Beyond that, there's some debate. Tyson Campbell, Jay Afeli, how much can all these other guys? Walker Little will even play much. Cisco's coming off the ACL. I think so much of those guys, I don't know where my expectation level is at for a lot of those kind of players, but I think the 2 first-round guys, they need some immediate impact. I think the football team would like a lot of immediate impact out of the first 3, 4, 5 players that they drafted in the first 65 picks. I don't know if that's as realistic or even as needed maybe in the first half of the year. But I know it's pretty needed with the number 1 overall pick, and we would think to change the style and dynamic of their offense, ETN will have to deliver and at least be a part of it.
See, when we talk about the 4th rounder, Jay Tufeli, I mean, there's already pretty good depth on that position, so I don't expect him to come in right away and compete for a starting spot. They're going to find a way to rotate him in. We're talking about Walker Little, 2nd-round pick. This is a guy who hasn't played in a little time now due to injuries and opting out last year. I don't expect him to come in day 1 and compete with Cam Robinson or Juwan Taylor. But what I do expect is a guy like Tyson Campbell, who's drafted number 33 overall, the first pick of the 2nd round. I expect to see him as a starter day 1. I expect him to be out there game 1 against the Houston Texans in some sort of capacity, whether it is the slot corner, whether it is the number 2 corner, whatever the case may be. I feel like when you draft a guy that high and you have probably the worst defense that you had last year on a 115 team, you can't just have all these picks come in and say, we're going to bring them along slowly. Heck with that, man. I mean, your defense was horrible last year. Now, you signed a lot of guys in free agency, but you need that young talent to step up and contribute as well. Tyson Campbell's got to be that guy in some capacity.
Yeah, and there's a lot on the shoulders of him, it would seem, because there's a lot of curiosities with that pick. Not in his skill set, not what kind of player he'll be necessarily, but where he's going to play and what it means for the rest of the defensive backfield, including C.J. Henderson. How much, where does he go? Or is there room? Or is this just now a deep cornerback room for the Jacksonville Jaguars? Pro Football Focus and Chris Collinsworth had Urban Meyer on earlier this week, and there's some quotes coming out about Tebow, of course, but there's also a quote about Tyson Campbell, and it was the idea of cross-training. It's like everybody's favorite phrase in the NFL, cross-training. Offensive linemen, guards to centers, maybe even tackle a little bit. Sure. Defensive linemen, multiple positions. And there is a sense of cross-training sometimes in the secondary with the nickel corner and also the outside corner. But I don't know how effective it has been in the past. It feels like a nickel guy is a nickel guy and an outside guy is an outside guy. At least in Jacksonville, it certainly felt that way. Trey Herndon is trying to make a little bit of that transition potentially. There's people that believe, I think, that he can play that position, but he's also been on the outside. Now the thing is, hasn't been really elite in either one, so he's more trying to fit on the roster, make a depth play. I understand it in that regard, but when you draft a guy 33 overall, are you a fan of the hybrid cross-training of nickel and outside corner, which seemingly, as we've discussed in the past, has a couple of different skill sets if you want to be really good at each spot?
I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of drafting a guy and putting him in various positions. We saw this with Caleb on Chase on last year, where you drafted him as an outside linebacker, you put his hand in the dirt, now he's defensive end. We saw that panned out from last year. So, I'm not sure if Tyson Campbell can play the slot corner. I'm not sure if C.J. Henderson can play the slot corner. All I know is that the NFL is a pass-driven league now, a pass-first-driven league, and you're going to have 3 corners out there. I want to see Tyson Campbell be one of those 3 corners because you sacrificed a lot to get that guy. So he's got to be out there. Time will tell where they put him, whether it's on the outside or in the slot, but he has to be out there. And I think C.J. Henderson, Granted, he wasn't here with Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer didn't draft him in the first round, but he's still a former first-round pick, and he's still going into his second year. You make your most progress from the first year to your second year, so I want to see C.J. Henderson as well. So they got to find some kind of combination where you can have C.J. Henderson, Tyson Campbell, and now obviously Shaq Griffin come from the Seahawks on the field at the same time when they're in those nickel packages.
Yeah, and so I guess our hesitation on that front is why do you even need to do that? Why can't you just put them in one spot? They have multiple corners as options. What can't one fit one place better than the other? And we also have very bad examples of this not working in Jacksonville in the past. Not at the corner position per se, but also at the defensive line position. Taven Bryan comes to mind, of course, and at the linebacker position, Miles Jack comes to mind, where I don't know if Miles played so poorly as he just didn't utilize his skill set to the biggest strength, which is now where he sat last year and had his best season in the NFL at the weak side linebacker spot. So I think there's a little bit of scar tissue there for me when you start to talk about players cross-training and moving around. Listen, there have also been examples of decent ones. Tyler Shatley's been able to play the center and the guard, but in a backup role. He's done a pretty good job of it, quite frankly. One thing we want to go like XYZ on the receivers all the time. Here's the thing. Most of the receivers that come into the league now can do a little bit of everything.
Oh, you have to.
Right?
You absolutely have to.
So, I mean, I don't think it's alarming, but at the same time, it's a curiosity of mine when you pick a guy 33rd overall and how much you can expect and how much you want to put on his plate. I'll even go as far back as a guy like Denard Robinson. They call him an offensive weapon when he first got here. Well, that's because they didn't know where they wanted to put him. Yeah. And so he's doing 15 different things. And I just don't think that has proven to be a recipe for success here in Jacksonville for the most part, anytime they try to have a guy play in multiple positions, especially early on in his career where, well, to steal Quincy Williams' word, your head's kind of like in a beehive early on.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about the corner position, it's one of the hardest positions to transition from college to the pros already. And now you're asking a guy to come in and possibly play the slot corner. And like I said, maybe he's built for it. Maybe he has all the intangibles. Maybe he has all the variables to be successful at that slot corner spot. I wouldn't be surprised. But what did we just talk about? We talked about how wide receivers, they have to do it all now. Whether you're in the slot, whether you're on the outside. We see tight ends do all that stuff. Well, corners have to do the exact same thing. Sometimes you ask a safety to take a tight end. Sometimes you ask a nickel corner maybe to take the tight end. So it is the more you can do. And I'm not saying I disagree with Tyson Campbell playing the slot corner. I'm just saying I hope that it works out for him and he's not playing out of position because you can't afford to have that guy on the bench day one.
How much outside of those first three guys is like a Walker Little a huge intrigue to see if he can push one of these tackles that struggled last year? There is some thought that, hey, sure, guy's here for depth, hasn't played football in a while. Who knows if he's ready to go? Who knows exactly how good he is? But there's also first-round type of feelings about Walker Little if he didn't get hurt and didn't opt out. I wonder if you look at that player in particular, where there was some weakness on the Jaguars at left tackle, right tackle, even though they franchise tag Cam Robinson and gamble a little bit on him. And Jawan Taylor was maybe even more of a disappointment last year in the amount of sacks that he gave up, even though I'm kind of a fan of his and still think he can get it done in the NFL. And maybe that's just more I'm hoping with the second-round investment that he does get it done in the NFL. He's going into year 3. Walker Little could be sneaky interesting here, not just in rookie minicamp, over the next month and over the first couple of weeks of August to see if he can get, if not push those guys, at least get the best out of those guys because he's a threat.
No, I mean, there's going to be competition, obviously, and competition brings out the best in people. I absolutely agree with that. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't expect Walker Little, who, once again, hasn't played in a little over a year, to go out there week 1 against the Houston Texans and protect Trevor Lawrence's blind side. I think I'd rather have Cam Robinson of where I sit right now. Now, who knows? Maybe Walker Little comes in the best shape of his life. Maybe the knee's not an issue anymore, and he balls out. If that's the case, then so be it. Give him the starting spot. But I can just see Urban Meyer and staff moving him along a little slow, right, to get him acclimated again. Because that's a guy, and regardless of any position, they don't need Walker Little, in my opinion, to come in right now and be the starter. I think Cam Robinson is suitable. I think Jawan Taylor is suitable. So when we talk about being suitable, and I know, are they great? Well, they could be, right? They're not Pro Bowlers right now, so you can always upgrade that position. But I think with what you have right now, you're okay with. And obviously, when you add a better quarterback in Trevor Lawrence going from Gardner Minshew, that's going to elevate the offensive line play as well. It's just how it works in the NFL. So I think they're going to bring Walker Little along slowly. When he's ready, he'll be ready. But I feel like there's no rush right now to get him in there at the starting spot.
You know, these opt-out guys are interesting to me. I've said this for the last couple months. I wondered how they would be handled during the draft process. Didn't look like the Jags shied away from them at all, right? Mm-hmm. Walker Little, Tefeli. Who am I missing? I think there was another one somewhere in there.
Well, I mean, Cisco, but wasn't he hurt, though?
Yeah, he was more hurt. Yeah, that's more of a ceiling guy. So, but anyway, Jags didn't shy away from that. Jags didn't see that as being a problem. You know, a guy like Jamar Chase opts out, ends up going really high. You know, we've had the conversation, Sean Wade, even a guy like Marvin Wilson. I mean, their stock dropped a lot by coming back. Mm-hmm. So I have two schools of thought on the opt-out guys here coming into camp, and then especially as we hit August and September, and that is, are they going to be rusty and really need this time over the next few weeks and early in camp, and therefore be a little delayed getting ready to go for the regular season? Or are they going to be the hungriest guys on the field because they haven't played football in so long? And that's like, think about Walker Little, right? Yeah. I mean, the guy hasn't played football in forever because he got hurt. Yeah. So they're already hungry, has ample time to heal, and then he opts out. I mean, yeah, think about whatever you love doing. Mm-hmm. You haven't been able to do it for almost 2 years. Yeah. You're going to be ready to roll. And Walker Little's a great example of that. Obviously, Cisco will feel that way, and he's going to be a little careful coming back from injury. But Tefeli might be a little bit like that. I mean, I wonder which side of the scale that's on. Is it rust, or is it, man, I'm hungry, and they're going to jump out at you when you're out there at practices?
Obviously, every player is different. You know, you can say Adrian Peterson came off that ACL and absolutely hit the ground running, pun intended, and just dominated right away again. Every player is kind of wired differently. I think if we're talking about guys that come out of college into the pro level, like I said, there is a drastic difference. I don't care what conference you played for. And I think if you set that whole year out, there is going to be a little bit of an acclimation period. Now, you do have the advantage because you weren't training for the combine possibly. You weren't playing in senior bowls. So you're not already wore out from that. So they will be ready for training camp from a physicality standpoint. But there's no way to get football ready in the off season. Like, you can lift weights and you can do sprints and conditioning, but it's a different type of training than actually getting on the field and going through practice. It's hard to simulate an NFL practice. So, yeah, I'm sure Walker Little is going to be in shape. I think Cisco, once he gets back to 100%, he'll be in great shape as well, and that's fine. But there's a difference between being weight room ready, being, sprint or track ready, and being NFL practice ready.
Well, we'll see with those guys. I'm looking forward to watching them. I wonder who the coaching staff is kind of fired up to see. Keep in mind, this is going to be as low-key can get for Jags rookie camp. Trevor Lawrence coming off non-throwing shoulder surgery just back in February. Now, he's fine, and he's progressing, and it shouldn't hinder him at all. But there's also no reason to do anything crazy this weekend and even the next few weeks. It's all about getting ready for making sure he's fully healed. That's why he had the surgery, in my opinion, and get ready for August. Cisco's another example of it. Little's coming off 2 years of absence. Tefeli's coming off a year of absence. I mean, this might feel like a Saturday morning walkthrough.
Yeah.
Out there at rookie minicamp for the Jags. And it's more than those guys. But, again, they have to be super careful this time of year doing anything. Of course, we're always scarred by the Dante Fowler tearing his ACL on the first day of rookie minicamp years ago. You don't want anything like that to happen. But I would suspect this will be like driving through a school zone here at rookie minicamp. It's going to be slow going for the Jaguars in the first 3 days of this thing.
Like I said, it very well could be, but Urban Meyer could ramp it up right away as well. Like, I think he's going to do a little bit of that. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and whether it's just rookies or rookies and vets, like, you only get that one shot. And I think Urban Meyer is going to come in, obviously, with a plan of what he expects from this, this rookie minicamp. And I think it's still going to be a little bit of rough. I think he's going to see who's taking this seriously and who hasn't. Like, that's the biggest thing that you can detect at these rookie minicamps, these OTAs, is who took the offseason seriously and who hasn't. Well, right now you have a bunch of rookies that are on the same level. This is all their first experience going through an NFL, type camp. So that all sets them at the same pace right now. So I'm very interested to see, like, I don't want to say everybody's going to try to weed out the weak ones, because that's not what you want to do the first week. But I think there's going to be a little bit of that. I think there's going to be a little bit of saying, all right, which guys took the offseason seriously? Which guys can we depend on day one when we start training camp? Where's the depth chart going to lie? And all of that stuff.
All right, well, we'll talk more about it. Jags rookie minicamp underway today. Again, very private workout for the Jacksonville Jaguars today. Tomorrow, not open to the public, but open to the media. This whole weekend is not open to the public, just a reminder of that. There will be stretches throughout the OTA sessions, which start May 24th, that the media will be able to go out there to that as well. But it's about 3 of those practices, and then mandatory minicamp will get another peek at the Jags. So over the next month or so, we get a handful of looks at Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer, the new Jacksonville Jaguars. But as we know from experience, it's not a ton you can take away from this time of year. It's more of a ramp-up heading into late July and August, and that's when everything, of course, gets cooking.
Now, is it just essential media that's invited to this one tomorrow?
If you got an email.
Okay.
You want me to share it?
No, it's all good, man. I can take a hint. We're good. I'll see you guys in the next one.
You wouldn't be going anyway. You don't work on Saturdays.
See you guys in the next one. Tell me about it.
You'll be at the beach.
Take a video.
You'll be here at Aromas.
Tell Joe Cullen I say what's up.
Stogie.
Tell Joe Cullen I say what's up.
Yeah, you're afraid of Joe Cullen still, so you don't want to go see him this early. You want to let Joe get situated, and then you can go see him. He'll probably put you through sprints, maybe even tie you to the goalpost again.
Can't do that anymore, Joe. Hate to tell you, man. You were kind of working for me now, Joe.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Live from Aromas on the South Side. Come on by. Say hello. Stogie Fest this weekend. Should be a lot of fun out here the next few days. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly cloudy, breezy, and still cool today, but milder than yesterday as we reach the mid-70s this afternoon. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 at Fox 30. Action News Jacks from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where you get the lowest diamond price guaranteed or your money back.
All right, boss, that's the last house on the block.
So what's the tally?
Let's see, 11 houses have Safe Touch security signs.
Okay, Safe Touch means we cross them off our list. What else?
6 houses with no security system signs, 1 with a ding-dong doorbell camera sign.
Ha, laughable.
Yeah, and 4 houses have big blue alarm signs.
Big blue alarm. You know, I still can't get over the fact that you can go online and buy one of their alarm signs for $25.
Wait, so you're saying there's a good chance that those big blue signs we saw are fake?
Well, not all of them. I'm sure some of them have actual alarm systems.
Huh. Well, one thing's for sure. When we see a Safe Touch sign, we know it's the real deal.
And that's just another reason we stick to the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. Is that on a bumper sticker yet?
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Need a good paying job with a flexible work schedule and benefits? A1A Solar is looking for you. $70,000 is a reasonable first-year expectation. Seasoned reps can easily make 6 figures. Leads provided to you as well. Health, dental, 401k benefits. A1A Solar is a tremendous company, voted best places to work in Jacksonville, and in 2016 was the Veteran-Owned Business of the Year. Be a part of an awesome company at A1A Solar. Just go visit A1ASolar.com.
I'm a call-it-like-I-see-it guy. Sometimes that twists the competition's panties in a bunch. Sometimes it causes pearl clutching. But it always lets you listeners know the truth. Last January, I told you winter was slow and you could get a deal on upgraded systems, because it's true. And here's the truth about summer. Most AC breakdowns happen from stress testing during that first string of scorching hot days in summer, causing every reputable AC company to be booked out at least 2 or more days. Any company not booked solid in summer isn't a company you want in your home. But who wants to sweat it out 2, 3, or more nights waiting for a new AC? At Griffin Service, we've solved the logistics to fix that problem, because we fix what others can't. We call it our Sign Today, Sleep Cool Tonight program. So if you forgot the tune-up in spring and things go to turd buckets in summer, don't sweat it out waiting. Call Griffin for our Sign Today, Sleep Cool Tonight guarantee, exclusively at
GriffinService.com.
CMC 1250697.
It's been 6 months since my wife leased her new Cadillac from Fields Auto Group, and she absolutely loves it. It's our first experience with Fields, and it's been terrific. They say you can step up to luxury for less, and we did. Not just a luxury Cadillac XT6. The car is beautiful, but the customer service is extra special, too. It was like that at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, and it will be like that at any of the Fields locations in Jacksonville. Cadillac, of course, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche as well. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. We are now part of that Fields Amenities program, and my wife tried the loaner program. It was easy and a nice added benefit. So whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less. Check out their locations all around Jacksonville, just like we did. You can go visit fieldsauto.com.
Shred your goals this year with the new Metabolism Boost Banana Passion Fruit Smoothie from Smoothie King. At only 240 calories and 14 grams of protein per 20 ounces, this crave-controlling meal smoothie has non-GMO whole fruits, naturally derived caffeine, and absolutely no syrups. Or try strawberry pineapple or mango ginger. Start your healthier habit and order online at smoothieking.com. Now for pickup or delivery at any of the Jacksonville area locations. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Spring is sprung, the air is warm, flowers are blooming, and the cigars are smoking. Cigars are smoking? That's right. Springtime means Stogy Fest at Aromas. A limited number of tickets are still available for the annual Stogy Fest event. Stogy Fest 2021 is May 14th through the 16th at Aromas off Southside Boulevard. Stogie Fest is for the cigar aficionado to the most occasional smoker. Join Action Sports Jacks at Stogie Fest Friday, May 14th from 3 to 6 p.m. for your chance to win a pair of Stogie Fest VIP tickets. Stogie Fest 2021, May 14th through the 16th.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Did you know that according to the Department of Energy, heating and cooling account for almost half of the home's energy use and expense? We started our insulation business because we wanted to help people save money on those energy bills and live a healthier life.
Schedule a free evaluation today at koalainsulation.com.
Koala Insulation. Clean, knowledgeable, and trusted.
Unfiltered. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahente.
You actually shouldn't have never benched Mitch Trubisky when he was 3-0. You probably would have put yourself in a much better place right now today.
Keyshawn, Jay Will, and Zubin. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio, your smart speaker, or on ESPN News.
Austin Lane. The Rock, out of nowhere, buys the XFL during a pandemic, mind you, goes half in with his ex-wife. So now you're going to business with your ex-wife.
Brent Martineau.
I don't know if that's on the business advice list.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Tom Brady Sr. cold called 98.5 The Sports Hub in Boston and said, quote, I started salivating when I saw that we're playing the Patriots the fourth game of the season. This is the most interesting, hyped up, and significant regular season game in NFL history.
Is it really? Whew. The most hyped up regular season game in NFL history? Patriots, Bucks? That seemed to happen fast.
It's all about the storylines, man. And when you talk about the GOAT, when you talk about the evil empire, the dynasty of the New England Patriots, it all adds up.
If you're Tom Brady and your dad calls into a radio show and says, I'm salivating over this matchup with Bill Belichick, and we can't wait to go to 4-0.
Yeah.
I felt like – who was I talking to?
Well, first of all, I would tell my dad to relax.
Well, yeah, but okay, so that's one part of it.
Yes.
Why do I feel like this was Tom Brady saying, hey, Dad, give him a call?
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
Because doesn't Tom have to, like, sign off on Tom Sr. doing that?
I would hope so. And maybe Tom Brady did co-sign on that. But I can't stress this enough. If my mom or, my stepdad called in and said that, just to add to it, I would be a little bummed out. But, hey, maybe Tom Brady celebrated it. Who knows?
Tom Brady seems to be having so much fun and is just enjoying everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like an I don't care mode,
Yeah.
And I think he has such a feel for what everybody's talking about, how everybody would react to it, that I just kind of wonder if this was a little bit contrived to be like, hey, go stoke the fire just for fun. They're going to talk about this anyway the way it is, but let's just go have some fun with this. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if he texted Belichick and said, hey, just to let you know, Bill, we're going to have some fun with this for the next few months.
No, I mean, and that could very well be the case. This could, they could be pulling a fast one behind our backs, and that could be the case. But I just feel like there's more ways to stoke the fire than have your dad call into a radio show. But, hey, maybe that's how Tom Brady gets down. More power to him. But I just think of, like, the social media prowess of Tom Brady and what he's done to troll the media in the past. I feel like he could come up with something better than having his dad call into a radio show.
So this is a big deal right now with Brady and Belichick getting together in Week 4 of the regular season. It's already because the schedule was announced. Like, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
How much is this thing going to be on steroids by the time we get to, like, October? Or late September, and we're creeping up on 10 days out from this matchup.
Yeah.
Like, is Greenberg right? Is this the biggest – is this going to be, like, heralded as the biggest regular season game ever? Like, that will be billed that way? That seems extreme to me. We have recency bias, all that stuff. But I am having a hard time kind of finding out another one. I'm not telling you it's going to be the best game. I mean, you can go to that Monday night game, that shootout, right? That was at Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
That was on Rams and Chiefs. Was that Rams and Chiefs or Rams? Who was that?
That was the Rams and the Chiefs.
Yeah. That was an unbelievable game,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
I'm not talking about that in terms of delivering on the field. I'm talking about the hype going into it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's big. Now you got the greatest of all time. You got the greatest of all time potentially. I mean, you got two of these, and they're going head-to-head with opposite teams. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't warrant a lot of discussion, but it just seems a little bit strong right now for me to sit here and say, okay, biggest one ever, biggest hyped up. But that's the world we live in now, so maybe it's right.
No, and I think it is going to be the biggest game of all time, but it's all going to depend on the Patriots because we know that the Buccaneers are going to be good this year. We can assume that we're going to see them probably back in the NFC Championship game, if not more. They're essentially returning their entire team, maybe have upgraded a couple of spots. Like, they're going to be good again. And now you have Tom Brady that's actually had a full year with his teammates. They're not going to get off to a slow start like they did last year. Fantastic. Okay. With the Patriots, though, it's different because, the Patriots, are they going to roll with Cam Newton? Is it going to be the Mac Jones show? A lot of new players on that team. Can Bill Belichick, have him playing at a very high level right off the season? We'll see. So, like, to make the greatest game ever, you need the Patriots to at least come in with maybe an undefeated record or one loss in that time. Now, when we talk about the greatest quarterback of all time, which is Brady, arguably the greatest head coach of all time, Bill Belichick, well, yeah, that's the storyline right there. And the storyline has always been before Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay was the fact that does Bill Belichick need Tom Brady or does Tom Brady need Bill Belichick? Like, who has more influence on that team than New England Patriots? Well, what happens? Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay, he wins a Super Bowl, and now that question's not being asked anymore. It's like, dang. It didn't matter where Tom Brady got drafted. He was going to be successful. Yes, Bill Belichick's a great coach, but look what Tom Brady did in 1 year on a new team in a COVID-19 different kind of season, by the way, mind you. So it just goes to show you how great Tom Brady is. So that's the storyline right there. It's the fact that Brady doesn't need Belichick, and maybe Belichick does need Brady. So if Belichick beats Brady, well, that's the storyline in itself. That's why it's going to be so important for this game.
We're live at Aromas here on the South Side. Stogie Fest all weekend long. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Kuz, you back there or no? Have you disappeared from the –
No, I'm here.
Okay, I knew you were stepping out for a second. How much are tickets going for Patriots and Bucks? You kind of led us on to this topic a little bit. Some crazy pricing, right?
Yeah, I saw as of earlier this morning there were some tickets that were over $1,000.
So over $1,000 for, and by the way, like that's probably, you say some tickets. Like I bet there are some tickets that are going to be $5,000 to $10,000.
Yeah,
you know, and like I'm trying to think of like a ticket here. I wouldn't do that for the Patriots, of course, but I'm trying to think of a Jacksonville ticket, like what I would have to see to pay that kind of money, right?
Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit, yes. Limp Bizkit at halftime.
That's about it.
Of the Jags game.
It's about it.
Yes.
That's about it.
$3,000.
Yes.
What's the highest you'd pay? Seriously. You go see, let's put it in your context. Maybe UFC is the event.
Yeah.
Right?
Hold on. Okay, I just found it. So the upper level, the 300 level right here, 4 tickets is $1,238.
So $1,200 for an upper level 300 ticket.
This is 300. So that would be like, I mean, you know, looking at it, that would be like the top of TIAA Bank Stadium, like you're in the back corner.
Well, I'll give you an example, okay? Jags Patriots AFC Championship game. I kind of forget, but I bought tickets for the kids and Steph and my mom.
Okay.
Mom's in Rhode Island. She met the kids and Steph, and they are on the 300 level. They're up in the nosebleeds, essentially. And I want to say for the AFC Championship game, we paid about $400 a ticket.
Wow.
And I just thought, you know what? Hey, it's the AFC Championship game. It's back home.
Yeah.
Mom can go.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Sure.
There's 2 tickets I've bought in my life that are expensive. That's one of them.
Okay.
The other one is the Major League Baseball All-Star Game and Home Run Derby in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
When we went with Steph's dad, Ty, and Steph, and that was the most expensive I've ever spent on a ticket.
Okay.
That was somewhere in the neighborhood of like $600-700 a ticket for the All-Star game.
Oof. Okay.
And that was in Cincy, and they were bringing everybody back, and Pete Rose and all the ceremony. And I was like, I'm doing it.
Sure.
And again, I'm not a ticket buyer. Like I'm not. I mean, I get press passes, right? We don't go.
Yeah.
We have season tickets for the Jags.
Yeah.
But those are the 2 biggest tickets I've ever bought, and maybe will ever. I doubt will ever, because if the Jags had gone to the Super Bowl, the question is, would I have splurged and taken out a mortgage for the Super Bowl tickets?
Sure.
I still don't know the answer to that.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
So, but anyway, those are the 2. But that gives you a little bit of insight. For the AFC Championship game, it was about $400 a ticket.
Yeah.
Kuz is saying for probably the same area of the stadium, $1,200 a ticket, and we're 6 months from, well, not 6 months, but a few months from the game.
Yeah.
So that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, seemingly crazy, but I would never pay that for a regular season game for Brady and Belichick. I'll watch it on TV.
Yeah.
Where would you go? How high would you go? And is UFC the event? Is it McGregor?
It's a
whoever.
Good question.
Because let's be honest, I think most people in our audience would answer
Yeah.
that. Now, we have folks all over. Listen, we have, so maybe it's a big soccer match in London.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a big Australian rules football in Australia for our folks down under.
Yeah,
rugby.
Yeah. For sure.
Maybe it's a variety of sports for whatever your liking is. But around here, if the Jags were to go to the Super Bowl, I think a lot of people would say, I'm splurging and going.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And they would take out mortgages on their house to try to go. Not smart folks,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think they might. So what is that game? What is that moment? And what is that ceiling of a price that you'd pay to go see an event and say, I was there?
Yeah, I mean, I would – the Jaguars at the top of the list because, yes, I get media credentials. The Super Bowl one could be a little tricky, though. I would definitely go pay whatever it costs to see the Jaguars in person at the Super Bowl and really be a fan, not even cover it. I'm talking about tailgate in the parking lot, do that whole thing, and then go in there and get the full game day experience. As far as, like, what I've spent money on in tickets, like, a lot of Brewers games come to mind, but there was never over 100, though, because you can really get a good seat for, like, sometimes 50, sometimes 75. Man, I'm trying to think the most that I mean, it'll be the Jaguars for sure. If the Wings ever go back to the Cup, and I could swing it, I'd want to see
Game 7.
Something like that. Game 7 would be great.
Against the Avalanche for the old times.
Man, for sure. Well, now kind of the Tampa Bay Lightning, just so I can watch the Red Wings stick it to them one more time. It's music. It's concerts and festivals.
I was
going to
say, yeah,
that I've spent the most, because like when I went to Coachella my wife and I went to Coachella back in like 2012. I mean, it was like $400, $500 a ticket. I mean, for everything.
But
like
that's
the resort and
yeah.
everything. Yeah. So that's probably the most I spent on tickets is a festival.
Yeah, I want. Listen, we got a lot of people. That's another good call too.
Yeah.
Music can be like that. Like,
what
would
yeah.
you go see? Whoever's in concert. You know, I think I just spent $125 or something on Zach Brown.
There you go at Daly's. Yeah, nice.
I mean, I don't even know. That must just be like the going rate. Because those weren't great seats or anything.
Well, I'm sure
There's
Zach.
only 5,000 seats in there.
Yeah, and I'm sure Zach Brown. I mean, is pretty popular in terms of
Yeah.
he hasn't. I mean, no one's been on the road
Well,
in a
that's
while.
part of
so
it.
like,
I wonder if
there's
things get hiked up a little bit.
There's
now
got to be the
because-
demand.
Yeah, a
for
little
sure.
bit of that demand.
I'm surprised he's not playing like at the TIA Bank Field though. Like
yeah, I think,
half the stadium.
I think the story behind Zach Brown is somebody here in town knows him well. And so they can get him to come in and play Daly's place. Not a normal venue that he would play.
Sure.
But I think he's now done it a few times.
Cool.
Because of that connection in Jacksonville. I won't say the name because I don't want to be wrong, but I think I know who it is. So, anyway, that I just think it's fascinating that this game is going to be built to that much and people are willing to pay. Now, you got to remember, you're talking New England. You're talking Boston. I mean, people probably leave $1,200 tips in Boston sometimes at restaurants. So, I mean, buying a ticket, maybe it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Still, it gives you an idea how big this thing is. This will be I'll tell you this, it might be the most hyped up game. It will definitely be the most overhyped game.
You think so?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, this one won't be able to deliver. Like, the Patriots aren't good enough, in my opinion, for this to deliver on the field. The way it's going to be hyped up to deliver. And by the way, like the two big parties, like I told you yesterday, for Belichick and Brady, this thing is way bigger to everybody else than I believe it is for them.
Sure.
Though Tom Brady's dad did just call on the radio show.
No, for sure.
Not here.
Listen, I think with Bill – no, for sure. I think with Bill Belichick, I think if he has the talent, he can accomplish a lot of things that he shouldn't be able to do. We've seen it time and time again with this Patriots team going to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to count Bill Belichick out here. On paper, Tampa Bay is way better. They have a lot more talent in every position. But being in Foxborough, being the storyline that it is, you just get the sense that Bill Belichick would do whatever he has to do to beat Tom Brady and try to prove a point.
Well, we'll see if he's able to do it months from now. Plenty of time to talk about. It is interesting with all the skyrocketing ticket prices happening and expected full stadiums as well. So we got that going for us, too. We're live at Aromas in Southside. On the South Side, we've got that going for us on a Friday afternoon here until 6 o'clock. Stogie Fest all weekend long. Culminates on Sunday. Make sure you check it out. Come on by. Say hello. Brent Martin, Austin Lane. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690 here on a Friday.
ESPN 690, Sports Center Update.
Mike Greenberg, Greeny.
Most football players stop playing football because they don't love the process anymore. I know a million football players, and almost every one of them will say to me, Greeny, if it was just about Sundays, I'd still be playing. The adrenaline rush, the thrill, the excitement, the fun of playing a football game is something that you never stop wanting. It's all the other stuff.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio and watch exclusively on ESPN+.
There is a taste of the islands in every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis is the only locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Support local and try Vida de Luis. Award-winning, smooth, all natural, no aldehydes or additives, which means wake up feeling good the next morning. Find out where you can pick up a bottle of Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Just visit VitaDeLuis.com. Support local and taste the islands in every drop.
Vacations are coming back, so before you hit the road, get your vehicle checked out by the pros at Honda of the Avenues. Honda of the Avenues Service Department continues to get 5 stars for their certified technicians using certified parts. The new Express Service Center is now open, so stop by if you need an oil change, tires, battery, wiper blades, or if you need any repairs to your vehicle. Awarded the 2021 Dealer Rater Consumer Satisfaction Award. Honda of the Avenues. Easy to find on Phillips Highway south of 295 or at HondaofTheAvenues.com. The Honda Giant. Spring is sprung, the air is warm, flowers are blooming, and the cigars are smoking. Cigars are smoking? That's right. Springtime means Stogie Fest at Aromas. A limited number of tickets are still available for the annual Stogie Fest event. Stogie Fest 2021 is May 14th through the 16th at Aromas off Southside Boulevard. Stogie Fest is for the cigar aficionado to the most occasional smoker. Join Action Sports Jacks at Stogie Fest Friday, May 14th from 3 to 6 p.m. for your chance to win a pair of Stogie Fest VIP tickets. Stogie Fest 2021, May 14th through the 16th.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jules in St. Augustine at Murabella Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jules app and catering for all of your events. Visit williejules.com and visit Willie Jules at Murabella Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jules.
Just be ready. Just be laid back. Just be confident. Whether you're looking to buy, refinance, or fix up your home, or for a new car to get there, count on Community First for low rates and fast answers. We make smarter borrowing easy and convenient, so you can relax, knowing you've got a loan that fits your life and your budget. Apply today at justbeyourself.com. That's justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Hello, I'm a unicorn. Yes, one of those. Everyone's trying to find me, but most can't, unless there's ZipRecruiter. If you've hired before, you understand it's quite hard to find a unicorn. You know, someone who's perfect for your role. So how does ZipRecruiter do it so quickly? ZipRecruiter's technology matches your job up with the right people for your role and invites them to apply, so you get brilliant candidates fast.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/hire. That's ZipRecruiter.com/hire.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
The Knicks, they still struggle to score a little bit. If you're a big-time player who wants to put on big-time numbers in a big-time city, I can see that happening.
Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio and watch exclusively on ESPN+.
What expectations have you set for yourself going into your rookie season?
For myself, I just want to make a splash early. Sometimes, rookies kind of get caught up in the playbook and things like that. I just want to be able to learn it, get it down pat, so that when I get out there, I can just play freely and, be myself.
Who was that? That was I'm trying to think of some of the teams that have already out there at rookie camp. I've heard from Andy Reid and LaFleur with Green Bay.
I didn't hear it, unfortunately.
Kuz, you're going to have to help me out with that one, man. I don't even know where to go.
Kyle Pitts.
Oh, it was Kyle Pitts. I was going to say, what's interesting? I was like, that did not sound like a quarterback. That sounded like a big fella.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So, that would fit. I was even thinking more offensive, defensive line guy. But that was Kyle Pitts in Atlanta. They still have Julio Jones by the start of the season, you think?
Of course. Where's he going? Do you know something I don't?
No, I just know there was talk of trade.
Yeah.
But now they have Kyle Pitts, like they have another weapon. Could they use the leverage to maybe say, in a leverage, think about, again, I always say this, if you're looking for contracts early on franchises, look for Labor Day weekend. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for trades, look for Labor Day weekend. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for anything substantial in the NFL world, look around that time frame, because teams are making cuts. They want to figure out what their plan is. They want to also save potential cap for a trade deadline, depending on how their football team's doing. And then through that month of August in camp, you do suffer some devastating injuries. That's just what happens. So I wonder still if we get to the opener and Julio Jones could still be a trade commodity to somebody that Atlanta says, this is too good of a deal to pass up. We have enough weapons right now. we're gonna make this move. I think he's got something like 11, 12 million each year remaining on his deal, which isn't crazy.
Yeah.
But he is aging and he hasn't been as productive because of some of the injuries as of late.
I just think that when you draft a guy like Kyle Pitts and you could have got really a quarterback maybe that you wanted to replace Matt Ryan, drafting Kyle Pitts shows that you guys are in a twin it right now and you're not worried about the future. Because we don't know how many years Matt Ryan has left. We can say 1, 2, 3, we're not sure. But we know that Matt Ryan's on the back nine of his career. So when you get a guy like Pitts, and once again, I don't want to call him a luxury because he is that much of a game changer, but you did spend a little capital on Hayden Hurst at the tight end position. So you get Kyle Pitts now to pair with him. That shows that you're in it to win it right now. So in my opinion, you wouldn't trade Julio Jones away because if he's healthy, he can still give you a lot. And now you have the emergence of obviously Calvin Ridley being one of the top receivers in the NFL as well. You have a pretty formidable offense. And you have Matt Ryan, when he's kept upright, when he's kept safe in that pocket, who can still deliver. So to me, getting rid of Julio Jones plans for the future when you just drafted for the present and Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, that's it'll be interesting to see. I think he is there too. I think if you're all in on Matt Ryan because you didn't draft the quarterback and you did go get Kyle Pitts, I think kind of like what you just said.
Yeah.
Let's make this thing as dangerous as we can make it.
Yeah.
Let's make us unstoppable. You got Ridley, Pitts, and Julio Jones. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, how you stopping that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think, and also you do see if Matt Ryan can't get it done at a big-time level offensively, who knows what their defense and everything else is, but if he can't get it done with that trio, well, then maybe it is time to look past Matt Ryan sooner than later.
Yeah.
Either way. So that will be an interesting part of it. Brett Martineau, Austin Lane, we're at Aromas here on the South Side. Stogie Fest all weekend long. So make sure you come on out, say hello here on Friday until 6 o'clock or anytime this weekend at Stogie Fest 2021. Did you see, I just saw something from Ian Rappaport real quick on masks are no longer required for fully vaccinated players, coaches, or staff members inside or outside. That's a new guidance from the NFL. So fully vaccinated players and coaches or staff members, no longer inside or outside, will be required to wear masks.
What percentage of players do you think are vaccinated right now?
Oh, that's a good call, man. That is a good call.
If you're to ballpark it.
I'm going to say 35 to 40%.
Are.
Yes.
Okay.
You think I'm high or low?
I think you're a little low.
Oh, really?
I would probably say 50 to 60%, but maybe I'm way off.
Why wouldn't they be vaccinated? Is it political view or just
Whoa.
kind of like by some, or is it like, come on, man, I don't need it. I'm not worried about this, or what? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a little political view, but I have a hard time buying into that narrative. Now, yeah, of course, there's going to be a few, but I don't think it's that many. But it could be just being a creature of habit. You know, like I haven't got mine yet just because I'm getting ready hopefully for a fight here in July. So like I couldn't afford to miss a couple days if I came down sick after I got the first or second shot. Maybe players feel like that too, where you know this thing started to take head, you know, during the off season, but getting close now to training camp, maybe some players feel like they don't want to risk it per se and get sick for a few days and miss maybe some, you know, their gains or whatever you want to call them. So that could be a possibility, but I want to say a majority of them would have it.
I believe the case is, and I don't know if this is still part of this, but I believe if you're vaccinated right now, like in NFL buildings, you get tested like once a week.
Yeah,
if you're not, you're getting tested every day. Just out of the pain in the butt of that,
for sure,
I think I would probably get vaccinated.
Yeah.
I will say this: the masks like really don't bother me that much. Like I'll go into the store, put a mask on. Like I'm almost like got accustomed to that life.
I'm used
so
to it now.
So maybe there are players that also say that. It's like I don't care. I'll wear a mask in the building. It doesn't like there might be those folks that do it. So
sure.
I would just suspect traveling and all the other stuff. Why risk it? Like, you know, sooner or later. And I would believe some of the teams will make it as easy as possible to get vaccinated, whether that's bringing on site or making a field trip to a place to get vaccinated.
It was interesting. The Milwaukee Bucks are doing it during their game. You had an opportunity to get vaccinated
for fans
during the game.
Wow.
Yeah,
See, I mean,
pretty wild.
People are trying different initiatives. All right, we'll be back. NBA Hall of Fame weekend brings up some interesting conversations. We go there next on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690.
Shred your goals this year with the new Metabolism Boost Banana Passion Fruit Smoothie from Smoothie King. At only 240 calories and 14 grams of protein per 20 ounces, this crave-controlling meal smoothie has non-GMO whole fruits, naturally derived caffeine, and absolutely no syrups. Or try strawberry pineapple or mango ginger. Start your healthier habit and order online at smoothieking.com. Now for pickup or delivery at any of the Jacksonville area locations. Smoothie King, rule the day. Need a good paying job with a flexible work schedule and benefits? A1A Solar is looking for you. $70,000 is a reasonable first-year expectation. Seasoned reps can easily make six figures. Leads provided to you as well. Health, dental, 401k benefits. A1A Solar is a tremendous company, voted best places to work in Jacksonville, and in 2016 was the Veteran-Owned Business of the Year. Be a part of an awesome company at A1A Solar. Just go visit A1ASolar.com. No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Purchasing home and auto insurance? Do it the Simply way with Simply IOA. Compare quotes and buy a policy online or over the phone. Search Simply IOA or call 844-TALK-TO-SIMPLY. Simply IOA. Insurance the Simply way.
A car wash with spacious lounges and Wi-Fi, Starbucks coffee as well. Prime Car Wash has all of that while your car or truck gets cleaned. For moms and dads, there are even child-friendly lounges. Full-service interior and exterior wash while you wait. Prime Car Wash is convenient for you. It was for me. I went to the Beach Boulevard location, and there's one on San Jose as well. Give it a try. You can even get a membership. Let Prime Car Wash take care of your vehicle while you take care of your family, or even do a little work. Prime Car Wash, clean inside, clean outside.
The American Heart Association recommends that everyone get a flu vaccine, especially seniors, children, pregnant women, and people with underlying risk factors such as heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. For more, visit heart.org/flu prevention.
Sponsored locally by Florida Blue.
Where else can you get luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials? Only one place, at Culhane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the south side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters. Yeah, they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. Culhane'sIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new 5 Sisters vodka at happy hour. Luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials, and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the south side. Culhane's Irish Pub, Irish Sass with 5-star class.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Your car in need of a cleaning? We've got you covered. We have all the wash and wax products you're looking for, from interior to exterior cleaners. They'll help you freshen up your ride inside and out, while keeping it protected from dirt and grime that can damage your car. And you can get everything you need even faster. Just order online at AutoZone.com and choose free same-day store pickup. Getting your job done just got easier. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Howard gets a 1-game suspension after picking up his 16th technical foul of the season Thursday night. He'll sit out tonight's game against the Magic. A Sixers win tonight wraps up the top seed in the East. The Nets hold the 2 spot right now, and they expect to have Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving all available for tomorrow's game against the Bulls. It would be their first game together in 3 months. With a 17-game season this year, could more load management be coming to the NFL? ESPN's Teddy Bruschi.
Is it possible that you have a player that's in their 12th, 13th, 14th year in the league that needs a week? Absolutely. It's another added element to adding another game onto the schedule.
Teddy Bruschi on Get Up. Bears head coach Matt Nagy not on the field for the first day of rookie minicamp. He's had close contact with someone who tested positive for COVID-19. Japan is determined to hold the Summer Olympics as scheduled starting in late July.
What? Just 15 seconds to talk about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea? That smooth taste of real brewed iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol? What? We started already? Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for it in the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Alex Rodriguez will certainly be visible. I think this is a league that loves sort of the visible owner, your Mark Cubans, and I think Alex Rodriguez certainly fits that profile. But I also think they've got to decide if they can win in Minnesota. I think that'll be the ongoing argument. Now, Courtney, the formula is pretty simple when these transactions happen. New ownership comes in to a market like Minnesota, and they say, hey, you know what? One thing we really love is a new stadium, a new arena. And then you decide what happens from there. Will the people give that to them? Will the city give that new facility? Or is it time to start looking elsewhere? I just think more than anything, we've heard a lot of talk about maybe Minnesota being moved, Seattle, Las Vegas. I think that threat will remain as long as the new ownership is there because they have no loyalty to Minneapolis and they just want to make money. Can you do that in Minnesota? That's going to be the biggest question, I think, over the next 4 to 5 years.
I don't know who that is, but obviously that's about A-Rod buying the Timberwolves or being a part of an ownership group for the Timberwolves. We talked about this a few weeks ago. Former players, all the money that's made. How much more will we see of this? I think we'll see a lot of it. I mean, listen, Patrick Mahomes owns part of the Kansas City Royals. He's still playing. He's 25.
Yeah.
Derek Jeter, of course, with the Marlins, now retired. A-Rod made a ton of money. He now owns the Timberwolves, or in part. So from that vantage point, I guess this isn't surprising, and get ready for more of it. Now, how will he be? I think actually Jeter's doing a pretty decent job. He had to reshuffle that whole thing, and it feels like he's doing a good job. I don't know for sure. We'll find out in the long run. There's a long play there by Jeter and the group that owns the Marlins, so we'll see. But I don't know. Is this just a fun toy for A-Rod, or is this going to be a passion play? That's hard to figure out for me, whether that's which one that is. For Alex Rodriguez. So we'll see. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We're live at Aroma's Stogie Fest happening this weekend. Aroma's on the south side. Come on by. Say hello. We're going to actually give away a couple of VIP tickets for the weekend event, and they're valued at pretty big bucks. So you might want to listen to that coming up in just a little bit. We'll have that for you throughout the rest of the afternoon. NBA Hall of Fame coming up tomorrow night. Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, and, of course, the late Kobe Bryant will be enshrined, one of the all-time classes. Before we get to that conversation, one more thought on Minnesota. As you heard that soundbite, Minnesota, to me, is very much like the Jags of the last decade.
Okay.
And I'll give you this. Did you hear him talk about the moving talk?
Yeah,
that's had conversation.
Yeah.
Well, let's not be naive. Although we've never believed it, there's been plenty of talk about it in Jacksonville for more than a decade.
Well, that and especially from the national outside media as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't really and still don't believe it's much of a threat, but it's still a narrative, okay? Well, here's how else Minnesota can be very much compared to the Jags. They, first of all, haven't won very much, and therefore they were stuck with a lot of top 5, top 10 lottery kind of picks, and they didn't do enough with them.
Correct.
They didn't really do much with them, but they didn't do enough with them. And so if you look at Minnesota for a while, looked like they might be the darling. Or just tacking on top pick, top 5 pick, top 2 pick, top 1 pick, whatever. All this stuff, wow, man, look out now. Look out, they could be good. They're going to be good in another 2-3 years. Okay? Wait, they're going to be good in another 2-3 years. No, and it just hasn't materialized. They're very much like the Jags in that way. prior to hopefully the Trevor Lawrence stuff. Let's hopefully take the Jags out of the conversation. But it's the NBA version of the Jags in a lot of respects.
Yeah, it really is. But at least with the thing with the Jags is they had, they had stars on their team even when they were struggling. Like you still had Maurice Jones-Drew get the rushing title. I mean, you have to go all the way back to Kevin Garnett. That it was really the guy that put the Timberwolves on the map and made them a popular franchise, even though they weren't winning NBA titles. Now, Karl Anthony Towns is kind of that guy, but I don't put him in the upper echelon of elite talent, even though he's a fantastic player. But in terms of a household name, I don't think he's on that point yet. And it's not for lack of trying. I think Kuz, didn't they draft Ricky Rubio right back in the day? Is that correct? And then he goes to Utah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, when they drafted Ricky Rubio, that was the big story, right? You had this young kid coming out of Europe, supposed to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
Well, it took him some while, and I don't think he really achieved that status like they were hoping. Well, now
they were hoping he was like Doncic.
Well, I was just going to say, I was going to compare him. It reminds you of, Luka Doncic, of what they wanted to happen. It never came to fruition. There's a couple other guys that they tried to go after as well, and it never worked out. So, once again, Karl Anthony Towns, he's a great player, all-star, all this stuff, but you have to go back to Kevin Garnett being the last guy that really kind of helped put that team in a new stratosphere.
Well, and that gets us over to Garnett and Duncan and Kobe Bryant in the Hall of Fame. I thought about this. I want you to think about this. We're having a little bit of the conversation. There's two different ways to go here. There really is three. The greatness and obviously the memory and the late Kobe Bryant. There's Tim Duncan, who was called, I think, by Popovich, the most underrated athlete.
Well, that was
Doc
Rivers. Yeah.
And rightfully so. I mean,
the
we
big
talk about
fundamental.
overhype and all that. I mean, there's no hype around Duncan. It's very Trout-like.
Yeah.
And so we'll get into that. And then there's Garnett, who he still doesn't want to go back to Minnesota at all, right? Does he still have a rift with them? I know he did.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, what's interesting to me as you look at those three is the fact that they all are different from a style perspective.
Sure.
And you could add personality into this.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you could be a star player, right, where is your personality going to fit? Now, listen, if you could be one of the three players, everybody would say Kobe Bryant.
Of
That's
course.
not my question.
Yeah.
My question is, where does your personality fit? Are you the iconic, graceful, superstar, megastar of Kobe Bryant?
Yeah.
Are you this quiet, subtle, never gets enough respect, just do your job kind of guy of Tim Duncan?
Yeah.
Or are you sometimes this I don't think people in the first even few years were like, Hall of Famer, one of the greats. I don't even know if Garnett was talked about as much as he should have been in his career, as much as he has been post-career.
Yeah.
And that's a tough thing to feel out. But also sometimes there was friction with Garnett. He's not always the most likable guy at times, and also had some friction between some of the teams he was on and even with Minnesota as an organization. So I think there are three different kind of athletes, personalities, and I think it's interesting to kind of find who fits that style versus that style versus that style.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the representation in the Hall of Fame this year amongst those three greats.
So, yeah, I mean, you put it so eloquently. I'll never forget when I was in high school, my basketball coach told me to watch Tim Duncan film. Watching the Spurs play because you can learn a lot. And I told him, nah, man, because Tim Duncan is boring as hell to watch. I don't care how many all-star games he's played in. I don't care how many titles he's holding. He's boring. He's a boring player, and I don't want to watch him. So, I definitely wouldn't go the Tim Duncan route, even though, I mean, man, you want to talk about the storied career, a fantastic teammate. I always compare the Spurs of that era to, the Patriots of now, where they're I don't want to say they're brainwashed or anything, but, they all kind of had that certain demeanor, that unselfish attitude in the game of basketball, which is one of the most selfish sports out there, and Tim Duncan fit that mold. With Kobe Bryant, obviously, it was the Black Mamba. It was the star potential. It was putting the team on my back and watch me go to work. Even with that, they always say, to whom much is given, much is tested. all eyes were always on Kobe, and he had the haters and he had the lovers, and that followed him, and I've shared this story before. I mean, in the times of the Allen Iversons and Kobe Bryant, I was Team Iverson, because to me, Iverson was more blue collar. He was East Coast. Kobe Bryant's in Hollywood, not passing the ball, being a ball hog, all this stuff. It wasn't until I got older where I really respected what Kobe Bryant brought to the game of basketball. I would relate to Kevin Durant a little more, because and now maybe I'm misspeaking here, but I never got the sense from – I'm sorry, I said Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
Referring to Kevin Garnett, I didn't feel like he had a lot of haters, because I felt like people always respected the story. Dude comes out of high school, and once again, kind of like Kobe Bryant as well.
Yeah.
But dude comes out of high school, and literally, like, Tim Duncan was your essential power forward, right? You stay in the post, you rebound, you block, you play great defense, you're a good passer, all this stuff. Kevin Garnett really revolutionized that position, where you can be a big man and play on the perimeter a little more, right? Like, he kind of ushered the way, if you will, for guys like Kevin Durant, for guys like Anthony Davis. So he was kind of
for the jumper,
of course. So like he was kind of it was before his time, really, and he was really I guess he was he's a skilled revolutionary basketball player in that sense. And then when you mix that skill set with his attitude and demeanor, where it was like, I'm going to win every single tip-off. If if there's going to be a dunk, I'm going to flush it home. I'm going to play fantastic defense. Like Kevin Durant, a lot like Kobe Bryant and Allen Iverson, he had that dog in him, right? Not to say that not to say that obviously Tim Duncan didn't, but he was more calm, collected, didn't show a lot of emotion. Well, look at Kevin Garnett when he won that championship in Boston. Like that was how many years finally reaching the culmination of all that hard work, all those, all that emotion coming to a head. So I can relate to Kevin Garnett a little more, because he almost had like a football player's mentality playing the game of basketball, and I can relate to that, and I can respect that.
Yeah, really interesting. I think I saw somewhere today almost 100,000 points between these three guys.
Yeah.
How about that?
Insane, man.
I think I read that right and remembered that correctly. It's Duncan is wild, right? Duncan was a really good swimmer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that now he's doing he's doing kickboxing.
Oh, is he?
Muay Thai. I'm not sure if he's actually fighting in a ring, but I know he was doing that now as well.
Okay. So he
one of the best tweets I ever had, where I got the most interaction, was on the Jaguars. This is right after Tim Duncan won the championship and was holding it. I said, Tim Duncan looks like the type of guy that when he's on iTunes, he reads all the rules and regulations. When you have to update it.
And doesn't hit just agree.
Yeah, no, he's like, I got to read all that. Yeah. Seems like that type of dude. Yeah.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Duncan's greatness, by the way, Duncan helped San Antonio be so under the radar and underappreciated as like a dynasty team.
Yeah.
Like they just were – it was like they were stuck in San Antonio, but part of it because it was the personality or lack thereof of Tim Duncan. But he also reminds us what's the greatness of sports and what you learn at the youth levels that still is important even though the athlete is still so tremendous. Mm-hmm. And this is what gets overlooked by phenomenal athletes. Is their attention to detail and fundamentals.
Yeah.
And he was a fundamentally sound guy.
Of course.
That made it to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And
meat and
didn't
potatoes.
do anything with flash.
No.
But even the great players, Kobe Bryant, still fundamentally very good. We just don't pay attention to that, right? Because we're paying attention to the highlights and the dunks and that's what the thing about Kobe Bryant, when I was in thinking of this story with the three different kind of personalities, it's like Kobe Bryant, much like Jordan is, when he's dribbling, it's a great snapshot from a camera lens.
Yeah.
When he's taking a jumper, it's a great snapshot from the camera lens.
Yeah.
When he's throwing down a dunk, when he's push a fist pump, when he's high-fiving a player, when he's getting mad, every image of Kobe Bryant, anytime on the court, whether he's tying his shoes or dunking, was this snapshot image. I don't know if I remember one snapshot image of Tim Duncan.
Do you know why? Because no, absolutely not.
Like
because
just wasn't that like he'd be the most boring guy to be a photographer for.
It was all bank shots. Oh, here's another 12-foot Tim Duncan bank shot. Oh, what's a bank shot? Here's another bank shot from the top of the key. Yeah.
I really just love the dynamic of that. And somewhere in between is Garnett. Just because, see, Garnett is not maybe an every moment snapshot guy, but he was kind of that. He could have that surly nature to him that you just didn't know what he was going to do. Like, is he going to fly off the handle soon?
For sure.
Is he going to punch one of his own teammates? Not like to say he was a bad teammate, but you just didn't know. You kind of like he seemed like he was on edge a lot.
Yeah.
And that
sounds like me in my time with the Jaguars.
Sounds like you were on the show.
Yeah. Sounds like me in general.
So I think that is it's. That's what strikes me about this class. Everybody's going to talk about the greatness, and they should, of the class. No doubt going into the NBA Hall of Fame. But to me, that's what I take away. I should say the Basketball Hall of Fame, not the NBA Hall of Fame, but the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Well, and I'm not going to lie, too. With all due respect to Kevin Garnett, but when I was in AAU basketball, I actually rocked, because we were sponsored by Adidas, so I actually rocked the Kevin Garnett's because, I was a fan. I have the McDonald's All-American high school jersey of Kevin Garnett someplace in my mom's. Like, I really enjoyed Kevin Garnett's game. But with all due respect to him, dude, your shoes when I was playing AAU ball, they were like, I kid you not, 5 pounds apiece. Like, it was literally like I was wearing ankle weights on my feet.
Light.
Light. And he played in them, so more props to him. But I could barely throw down a dunk in those things, man. I was like I was wearing clogs or something. It was ridiculous.
So the underrated athletes, like we talk about this sometimes, but now underrated great athletes. Like it seems like in this day and age.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking earlier in the show about this hyped up game 5 months away, Belichick and Brady. Like how is anything under the radar these days? How is anything underrated? Well, in the strangest of ways, Tim Duncan was underrated for a long time.
He was.
And in the strangest of ways, even now, even though we know he's the most underrated player, yet the best player in the game, Mike Trout, remains underrated.
Yeah, no, he's underrated.
We have more people talking about it in that context, so he feels less underrated. But he definitely fits the bill. He is kind of the version of Tim Duncan to the NBA, in my opinion.
I get where you're coming from, but if you actually watch Mike Trout play baseball, he's exciting because he does everything well.
Absolutely.
With
he's a freight train, and he hits home runs. So he does have, like, the slam dunk version. He doesn't have the bank shot. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's, like, the thing with Tim Duncan. It was, like, his whole game was just, You know, I mean, once again, it got the job done. But, like, at least Mike Trout, he has the home run ball. I'm trying to think in baseball, like, who would be the most underrated guy? It's really hard because you have to think, all right, take personality out of it. You can't have a big personality. You know, probably hitting for singles more than you are, you know, for the home runs. It's hard for me, especially in the modern era of baseball, to come up with a guy off the top of my head. I'll be honest with you.
I don't know if well, especially in this day and age, it's really hard to come up with because everything is a highlight.
Yeah.
You know, you have very few guys that are doing all the little things well that could still be stars. You could have done that back in the day. You could have been Wade Boggs. You could have been Don Mattingly. I think Cal Ripken fits this.
Yeah.
Like Cal Ripken earlier this year, we went back and looked at his numbers like, wow, I was like, I don't know. I think sometimes maybe the street gives him a little more street cred than maybe he even should get.
Yeah.
And then I went back and looked at his numbers like, oh, wait a minute. No. Like, maybe we should be remembering more for the baseball player than the streak.
Correct.
Like, so it's not like he's underrated as a name because everybody knows Cal Ripken Jr., but I think his game actually gets overlooked because of the streak, like in terms of Cal Ripken.
Yeah.
So, like, he fits that in kind of a different context. You look at NBA players, and I don't really know if there are too many underrated NBA players. I think there are so many players that exist right now that are good that it gets almost watered down with stars.
So one that stood out to me, and that's ironically comes from the Spurs, and he's retired now, but LaMarcus Aldridge to me was a little underrated because he kind of had a lot of the same game as Tim Duncan did. Yeah. I would say Aldridge.
Well, I would say Kawhi Leonard right now is probably the most overlooked superstar because, again, quiet by nature.
Yes.
Like personality.
Yes.
It doesn't exist.
Yes.
Like, and that's what this comes down to. It comes back to. Like, do you have a personality? And it's fine if you don't. You can still be great. You can still be a winner. But it's hard to be marketed, and it's hard to make headlines if you're kind of boring.
Here's a great one, and Kuz, maybe feel free to chime in here. The Joker right now.
Yeah.
He's going to win the MVP award more than likely. Nobody is talking about him, I feel like.
I feel like
in Denver.
And probably underrated, yes. I think in part he fits what I just said. The NBA has a lot of stars right now.
Sure.
Like a lot. And so you can go 1 to like 30 and I can give you star, 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 star. Well, he fits that list, and you're like, wait a minute, MVP?
But I'm saying,
that's
the
MVP?
best star.
You know? So, yeah, I think it does fit. I just think we're so busy talking about Durant and Harden and LeBron and Steph Curry that next wave we just don't talk about enough, most likely.
Do you think Dirk Nowitzki fit that mold before he won the championship? I think after he won the title, like, it was like, all right, this guy, is special, beat LeBron James and everybody. But I think before that time, there was a little underrated nature to Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and I think it's also a kind of a forgettable, much like San Antonio, Dallas, as big as they are in football.
Yeah.
In other sports, they're kind of forgettable franchise. Like Mark Cuban is a big name, but who sits there and says, "Hey, give me great NBA franchises"? Even when Dirk was playing and they were good.
Yeah.
And when did you get to Dallas?
Yeah, that's a good point. But now you got some big stars in Luka.
Oh yeah, no, I think they're actually more headlined now.
Yeah.
The combination of Luka's game, which is on SportsCenter all the time, and Cuban, who usually will make a wave or two once a year.
Sure.
And maybe even Shark Tank has helped him,
Yeah.
I think they're actually more of a thing now than they were when they were good and winning it with Dirk.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm right on that, but it feels that way.
I agree.
The NFL is really hard to be an underrated player.
I got a couple for you. I mean, obviously Daryl Smith from the Jaguars is the obvious one, but there's a guy that I played against that still doesn't get his just deserved.
Hold on to that one. Tell us when we come back. Maybe I'll even try to get
I hated playing against
Action
him, by the way.
Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We are live at Aromas on the South Side. Come on by Stogie Fest 2021 all weekend long.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly cloudy and breezy today, an isolated brief shower with highs in the mid-70s, dropping back down into the 50s tonight. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where you get the lowest diamond price guaranteed or your money back.
For the ones who get going when the going gets tough, and the ones who know we're tougher together. For the Pathfinders breaking new ground. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as fast access to experts and 24/7 customer support. Because we know you have people depending on you, so you can always depend on us. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com. A car wash with spacious lounges and Wi-Fi, Starbucks coffee as well. Prime Car Wash has all of that while your car or truck gets cleaned. For moms and dads, there are even child-friendly lounges. Full-service interior and exterior wash while you wait. Prime Car Wash is convenient for you. It was for me. I went to the Beach Boulevard location, and there's one on San Jose as well. Give it a try. You can even get a membership. Let Prime Car Wash take care of your vehicle while you take care of your family. Or even do a little work. Prime Car Wash, clean inside, clean outside.
Vacations are coming back, so before you hit the road, get your vehicle checked out by the pros at Honda of the Avenues. Honda of the Avenues Service Department continues to get 5 stars for their certified technicians using certified parts. The new Express Service Center is now open, so stop by if you need an oil change, tires, battery, wiper blades, or if you need any repairs to your vehicle. Awarded the 2021 Dealer Rater Consumer Satisfaction Award. Honda of the Avenues, easy to find on Phillips Highway south of 295 or at HondaofTheAvenues.com. The Honda Giant.
Hey, I'm
I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Did you know that according to the Department of Energy, heating and cooling account for almost half of the home's energy use and expense? We started our insulation business because we wanted to help people save money on those energy bills and live a healthier life.
Schedule a free evaluation today at koalainsulation.com.
Koala Insulation. Clean, knowledgeable, and trusted.
Spring is sprung, the air is warm, flowers are blooming, and the cigars are smoking. Cigars are smoking? That's right. Springtime means Stogie Fest at Aromas. A limited number of tickets are still available for the annual Stogie Fest event. Stogie Fest 2021 is May 14th through the 16th at Aromas off Southside Boulevard. Stogie Fest is for the cigar aficionado to the most occasional smoker. Join Action Sports Jacks at Stogie Fest Friday, May 14th from 3 to 6 p.m. for your chance to win a pair of Stogie Fest VIP tickets. Stogie Fest 2021, May 14th through the 16th.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jules in St. Augustine at Murabella Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jules app and catering for all of your events. Visit williejules.com and visit Willie Jules at Murabella Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jules.
Slip and falls can be embarrassing, leaving you in pain and feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After a fall, document the scene by taking photographs and make sure to get medical attention for any injuries you may have. If you've been injured in a slip and fall accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Purchasing home and auto insurance? Do it the Simply way with Simply IOA. Compare quotes and buy a policy online or over the phone. Search Simply IOA or call 844-TALK-TO-SIMPLY. Simply IOA. Insurance the Simply way.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Max. If he never golfs again and you're telling the Tiger Woods story, how could it not end? For I know he's won since then. At the Masters.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays at 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Watch exclusively on ESPN Plus.
Brent Martineau.
There's 3 islands, and it can be very nice and lucrative, by the way. You could be a huge winner, but you could be a huge loser, too. You might not have a boat to get home.
Austin Lane.
Well, I like that, man. I love that analogy.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Hey, welcome back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We're live at Aromas on the south side. It's Stogie Fest 2021. There was no Stogie Fest 2020, so it's a big time. Once again, sold out here for the weekend. We were here a couple years ago, and you guys had a great event, and here we are back again. Good to be here at Aromas on the south side. Come on by the way, till 6 o'clock. Say hello, and then hopefully you have a ticket for the weekend's events. We will give away a couple of VIP passes in the this segment, and then also coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, so stay tuned for that. Erin Eris with us right now. She and Investor Financial, a title sponsor for Stogie Fest 2021.
That's correct.
How are you again? Good to see you again.
Nice seeing you.
And,
it's so nice to be back.
Yeah, I bet it's nice for you guys to be back, especially, right? In this, in your business, you need people. You want people out. The socialization part of this, and, of course, a big event coming up.
Amen. Yes, it's really great to be back. It's great weather it looks like we're going to have.
Oh, it's awesome,
a whole bunch of cigar lovers of the leaf. So thank you, and thank you for spotlighting this again for us.
No problem. What is Stogie Fest? Where did it originate? How long have you been doing it? And obviously it's a popular event. Why is it so popular?
So that's a really great question. I guess, the industry as a whole, when it comes to cigars and smoking, feels like its own tribe. And those of us that are out there, I'm part of a women's cigar, Stogies and Stilettos as well, which is kind of cool for the wives and women. But Stogie Fest has been around for over 10 years. It started really just with the idea of getting people together to enjoy. We used to do it around March Madness, so it kind of worked out with that. Due to, obviously, the pandemic, moving the time to May this year has been interesting, and it's really exciting that we're able to do it. The goal was to keep pushing it out last year, and here we are able to do it and get together. We are capping attendance, obviously, unlike in times past, but it is a sold-out event. And we're, I don't really know what makes it so great. I think it's all the different elements that go into it, but there's so many cigar purveyors that are going to be here from all over the nation. They earmark it. It's a requirement for Aromas to do business with those vendors, that they have to come and support this event. So people come, they get educated, they get to get a whole bunch of cigars. I think a $400 value per ticket is what's passed out. And it's a little exciting for the men because there is a Miss Stogie Fest bikini contest that happens at 5 p.m. on Sundays. So I think it's just become kind of a legend in this town.
Absolutely.
So.
Once you come there, you don't want to miss it, right?
Yeah.
One of those events, and that's why it's already sold out. Aaron from Investra Financial, title sponsor for Stogie Fest 2021. The place, I feel like you did even more on the outside.
Yeah, it's an extended patio.
Yeah, no doubt. Was that partly because of the downtime in the pandemic? Was that planned anyway? And that's going to be a nice addition in May is what I'm thinking, because the weather, again, this weekend's supposed to be awesome.
Yeah, and thank you for pointing that out. That was really kind of a backup in case COVID came back around, wave 2. And it's obviously a benefit going forward. Everybody's really been enjoying it. And it's a huge patio, as you saw.
Very big.
So, no, it's just kind of become a perk. It's actually part of the VIP club portion of Aromas. There's a private not-for-profit organization called Club Robusto, and so that's an annex for that. But yes, it's going to be used for the VIP ticket holders for Stogie Fest as well. So there's a benefit to having a VIP. You should have a VIP experience.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So what goes on tonight, tomorrow, Sunday? You mentioned obviously there's a bikini contest at 5 o'clock on Sunday. I heard that part. And obviously a lot of vendors with cigars, and I'm sure newest and best and all those things that go into an event like this. But what's the atmosphere like tonight, tomorrow, Sunday, and why people are obviously, once they come here, they come back for this event?
Well, thanks for asking again. I would say it's a very unique experience. So there might be a normal vibe that's in here on a Friday night, and then there's the Stogie Fest any night that's going on. So it's only for VIP for Friday night, Saturday night. But what you're going to experience is there's a special vendor that's going to come in, and they're really going to be an ambassador for that brand, and they're going to talk, and everybody's going to get some free swag, but they're also going to get a cigar. And then there's going to be some entertainment that's going to be provided associated with that. Tomorrow night on Saturday is the very first night. We were going to do it last year, but this year it's going to be Stogie Feast. And so it's meats, all kinds of rare meats that everybody's going to have. And then that's sponsored by Cohiba. And even if you don't smoke a cigar, people know Cohiba.
Yes.
So Cohiba doesn't do anything, but they're doing this event because Aromas is a very large end user for them. And so they're passing out some pretty unique stuff, and they're doing another ambassadorship with that one. That's a separately ticketed event. But then after the Stogie Feast is the normal VIP, where people will come up here. There will be an additional brand that's going to be presenting. So it's really just a lot of people buy the ticket because the ticket doesn't cost as much as what they get in value in cigars.
Yeah.
The benefit for us to do it is it really does get together more of an affluent type of clientele, which is why Investor is doing it. But at Aromas, it's just legend. I mean, it just is one of those things that you'll see somebody 2 weeks after and they'll go, I can't wait for Stogie Fest next year. And then Sundays and all day. It starts at 11 in the morning for a VIP ticket holder. And then they pass out cigars until 3, and then it goes into a big, long, the raffle is like an hour. There's that much stuff that people are able to grab. Anything from lighters to ashtrays to signs, individual unique pieces that the different cigar purveyors are also providing, and then the bikini contest. And we typically have 7 to 10 girls. I don't know how many are coming this time, and it's good talent, actually.
Very good. That's a good endorsement there. Aroma's on the south side. Aaron with us from Investor Financial. They're the title sponsor for Stogie Fest 2021, back in 2021 after the way 2020 was. And so looking forward to this weekend. It's a sold-out event. VIP, we're going to give away a couple of we have a couple pairs of VIP passes. We're going to give away one right now, 904-362-9901. Let's make it caller 4 to 904-362-9901. You can pick it up at will call, by the way, here at Aromas, and it's a pair of VIP passes. I think it's like $150
Per
value
ticket.
each per ticket.
Yeah.
But you just said $400 or more is what you get out of that,
Yeah.
and that's why this thing sells out so quickly.
Yeah. There's going to be liquor that will also be provided. There's going to be people that are hearing some unique things that you can do. But yeah, if you're giving away tickets, there are no tickets left.
Yeah, very good. So that's it's a hot item. So. Call in round 904-362-9901. We'll also give away another set of tickets coming up at 5 o'clock. All right, humor me a little bit. Like cigars, not a cigar connoisseur.
Right.
Okay? So, like the most expensive cigar you could get in here. Do you know that off the top of your head, or at least a range?
I would say we actually have in the cigar area, there's an executive extra sweet. So when you go in there, everything's over $50 per stick. So the most expensive cigar you could probably get here would be, and you're not going to find them anywhere else in Jacksonville, to be honest with you. Most people can't maintain that stock, much less that much inventory is in one box there. But over $150.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
To purchase. I mean, what you're going to be receiving if you're listeners get those VIP tickets, or if they're already coming, hopefully they're already coming and they've planned ahead. But if they haven't, $400 in cigars, you're probably going to get at least 30 sticks that you can take home.
Wow.
I know a lot of people come here to stock up their humidor or pass them out to their friends, go on the golf course and pass them out as well, because I hear that from people all the time. But
cigars are a little bit like almost trading cards in a way, aren't they?
Yes, it's like a currency.
It's like
you can tip somebody with a cigar and they're like, this is really
nice.
That's
good enough. Very well said. See, before cryptocurrency or Venmo or something, there was cigars, right? And there still are. Last question for you. Do you think you'll like this time of the year and stay here, or could you bring it back to March Madness? Is that too far down the road?
I think the plan would be to bring it back to March. Mostly just because of the March Madness. It kind of adds that extra element, that kind of entertains everybody while the band's playing. If you don't want that element, you can kind of jive between everything. But yeah, and the weather's a little cooler, so yeah, there's a lot going on in May in Jacksonville typically.
Absolutely, that's true. Aaron Harris from Investor Financial, title sponsor for Stogy Fest 2021. Oh, good luck this weekend. We appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for being here. It's always great.
Hopefully we'll be back at it again next year. Come on out, say hello at Aromas on the South Side. We'll be here until 6 o'clock. And again, hopefully you already called in, 904-362-9901. For those couple of VIP passes to get in here for the weekend.
Allie is our winner.
All right, very good.
Allie?
Did you say Allie?
Allie with an A.
Allie with an A, so get ready for Stogies and stilettos.
Yeah, Stogies
right?
and stilettos.
Join
the
club.
group.
So we'll give away another set of those VIP passes coming up in the 5 o'clock hour as well. We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690. Sports Center Update.
Max.
He came out and said LeBron should, stay out of politics, and that when people, they should stay with what they're great at, and he doesn't like it when people venture into politics. And it's not that he'll stay out of all social issues. His name, the way he was treated at times, and everything. That's a social issue. But listen to LeBron. He should, and a lot of people heard this as shut up and dribble.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays at 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Watch exclusively on ESPN+.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Come on, one more rep. You got this. 10. There it is. Nice work, man. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I got to tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. The Big Hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. This is a legit product. The key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text BEACH to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenix samples are not available in stores, so text BEACH to 321-321 right now. Text BEACH to 321-321. Text BEACH to 321-321.
Hey, we get it. You don't want to be hearing a Progressive commercial right now, so let us tell you something you do want to hear. No one is funnier than you. People laugh just thinking about the things you've said. I'm laughing at one of them right now. Coworkers repeat your jokes at the office, but they're never as good as when you tell them, and shame on them for trying. There. Don't you feel better? You'll also feel better knowing you could save when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Although I'm sure you'd have a funnier way to say that. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
I can pop a beer in here, right? Your cousin from Boston. This here is Sam Adams Boston Lager. It's my go-to beer. Not too heavy, not too oh boy, oh boy. Oh, that's whoopsie daisy. Oh no. Is there somebody that can help? Come on in the room. It poured right in the keyboard. Relax. I spill beer on my computer all the time. Sam Adams Boston Lager. The Boston Beer Company, Boston, Massachusetts. Drink responsibly.
There is a taste of the islands in every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis is the only locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Support local and try Vida de Luis. Award-winning, smooth, all natural, no aldehydes or additives, which means wake up feeling good the next morning. Find out where you can pick up a bottle of Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Just visit VitaDeLuis.com. Support local and taste the islands in every drop.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I should have my kid tell you about Jumpin' Jack's House of Food. It's Ty's favorite burger in town. Make it one of your favorites as well. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food has 3 locations now: Atlantic Beach, Mandarin, and downtown Jacksonville. Change your life burgers. But they have salads, pizza, and much more on the menu, too. Let Jumpin' Jack's House of Food be your great neighbor. Lunch or dinner with the family, or they will cater parties from 200 to 500 people. Jumpin' Jack's, HOF.com for online ordering. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, open 7 days a week.
Just be confident. Just be valued. Just be totally zen. Community First makes smarter banking simple, easy, and convenient with better rates, fewer fees, and great digital tools so you can relax, confident that you're managing your money the right way, yours. Add an account today on your phone, tablet, or desktop at justbeyourself.com. That's justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA.
For the ones standing guard. For the eagle-eyed. For the knights in shining armor. And for all those who support them. We are Grainger, your experienced safety partner, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, committed to helping keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, clickgrainger.com/safety, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
When you start to realize that the reason New Orleans Saints hadn't made a Super Bowl in the last few years is Drew Brees. Drew Brees wasn't the same guy late in season.
Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio, and watch exclusively on ESPN Plus.
Definitely hit him up as soon as he got drafted, man. Let him know that, I'm going to have his back. I know the whole team got his back, and, just go out there and do your thing. Do what you've been doing your whole life, and I know you're going to have support for us, and we're going to try to hold it down on the defensive end, and because we know we're going to, I know personally he's going to light the scoreboard up, especially with all the receivers we got and the running backs we got. So I'm excited to see that. And I know defensively we got to do our job, and I know we're going to do that as well. So I'm just excited for him, and I'm excited to see what this next chapter in life unfolds for him.
I know who that is.
Yeah, baby. That is Josh Allen, Jaguars defensive end. And what's interesting about that is it was like he didn't even want to talk about Trevor when we had him on that day. He's like, Trevor who?
Yeah, and now all of a sudden he's his biggest fan. and now he's doing promotions for Trevor Lawrence. It's crazy.
We did have Trevor Lawrence on our noontime show the day after the draft, but we had Josh Allen on our draft special on TV on CBS 47 and Fox 30 prior to him Trevor getting picked, like moments before he got picked. And I love this is what I say about an organization. One thing I've learned in the NFL, I think we do what's going to fix the Jags. Well, they have to hit on first-round picks, right? They have to get the quarterback. They got to get the culture right and cultivate that and keep people that they grow here and don't have any of the drama like they've had. None of that's going to be all perfect, but you need to do more good than bad to be able to win. And I'm a big believer in you got to take a risk and you got to be bold somewhere along the way, and it's got to pay off. But I'm also a big believer that you got to get lucky. You got to get lucky. And to me, Josh Allen, going back to that draft that was in Nashville a couple years ago, is a great example of the Jaguars getting lucky.
Yep.
They got him at number 7. Nobody expected that. And they were going to go tight end, by the way, and we wouldn't be talking as much about tight end.
True.
But they went pass rusher because of the value of Josh Allen. It's pass rusher, and it was the right move to do. We would have been killing him if they didn't. First year, he has a great year with the Jans and Calaises. Last year was, I don't know if you would count it as a lost year. I've talked to Josh enough that I think he kind of feels like it was a bit lost. He had to play through some stuff and then obviously had to shut it down with the knee. He feels good. He's healthy. All the talk about Trevor, all the talk about these new pieces and players. One of the reasons why Urban Meyer liked the Jacksonville job is because of players like Josh Allen. Now, I don't know where the percentage lies. I believe Trevor Lawrence is a big part of it. But I do believe players like Brandon Linder, players like James Robinson, DJ Chark, players like Josh Allen and Miles Jack, those are some reasons that would be somewhere in the percentage of the pie.
Yes.
Of why Urban Meyer took the job was because of those kind of players. And he's already said vocally how much he loves Josh Allen. How big of a year will Josh Allen have? Can he have? This is an interesting piece now. Keep an eye on it because if he has a big year, you might talk about paying him early.
Yep.
If he has a big year, we might be saying this guy's going to threaten the Jags sack total, in franchise history. It's a big year to kind of set the narrative for Josh Allen. We love Josh Allen. I think he's everything that Urban Meyer said, and he's been fantastic since he's put on a Jags uniform. He's loyal to the cause. He really is. While everybody else is ducking out of town, not everybody, but some, he was saying, I'm all in, Duval. I'm with you. And I think the fans love him for that. But now he's going to go produce in year 3. It's a big year, I think, for Josh.
No, it's going to be a huge year. And Urban Meyer, has alluded to his name a couple times. Like, they know how important Josh Allen is to making this whole thing work. Right, and when you talk about a team that went 1-15 last year, you have a new regime coming up. Like Josh Allen's one of the guys where it's like, hey man, all right, like we're going to depend on you here to get our message across and be a leader in this locker room. And the cool thing about Josh Allen is that he has that mentality, he has that mindset. Where I remember the first time I talked to him, after his first year, I thought he was a 10-year veteran.
Yeah,
he just gives off that vibe, whether
maturity
it's because
about him.
Yeah, of course, whether it's just his upbringing, whether it was the coaching in college, whether it's just being a family man, whatever the case may be, he has that maturity wise beyond his years, and that's important sometimes. So I do like that fact. I love the fact how excited he is for Trevor Lawrence because I think we both have a feeling of what could happen. And when we talk about, if you get another defensive end, that's great, right? Like, if Caleb Chason, can step his game up a little bit and be a fear on the other side, if Malcolm Brown can be a formidable pass rush guy or Harris or whoever the case may be, that's going to make Josh Allen's job that much easier. But sometimes what people fail to neglect is that it's the complementary football. Last year I think you saw a lot of 3-and-outs sometimes from the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it put the defense in a bad position. If you have a high-powered offense, that makes things so much easier on the defense. Sure, Aaron Donald, best defensive lineman in the NFL right now, hands down. I'll give it to him all day. But he also plays on a team that has an offense that can score some points and put their opposition behind the game where he can pin your ears back and go after the quarterback. Josh Allen didn't really see a lot of that last year because teams had a lot of the lead for most of the time. If you bring in Trevor Lawrence, if you bring in Urban Meyer, Travis Etienne, these high-powered guys, that makes things different. I'm reminded of 2011. I always go back to this season because overall the team wasn't that good, okay? But our defense, it was top 6, top 7 in the entire NFL in team defense, right? And that had a lot to do with our defensive line, obviously our linebackers and whatnot. But I remember, for as good as we were still going back out there after 3-and-out because our offense couldn't get the job done. And it's frustrating from a defense when
And
you can't
exhausting.
sustain. It's exhausting as well. But
exhausting to watch.
For sure. But there's and listen, and I want to sit here and tell you, we always embrace going back out there and get okay,
No,
and that's fine. But when it's the third 3 and out in a row, we're looking at the offense like, hey guys, can we get some help?
Come on, spill the beans. A decade later, how many fights were in the cold tub? But with those offensive players, come on.
I'm not going to say any fights in the cold tub, but there might have been some dirty looks in the locker room at halftime. Yes. Let's just say. So that's where complimentary football comes in. That's where Trevor Lawrence comes in. And I think that's why, more importantly, that's why Josh Allen is so excited for Trevor Lawrence to come in, because now we're talking about complimentary football.
We're at Aromas here on the South Side. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Brett Martineau, Austin Lane. I don't know what Dill is smoking, but he thinks 19 and a half sacks is how good of a year Josh Allen
is that what he said?
have. Yeah, so,
okay.
We'll see. That would be
Is
nice.
that a leak from somebody? Or what
I don't know, but that's what he said. So
okay.
We'll go for that. We sign up for that. No doubt. We do Josh Allen's, again, if the Jags are going to turn this all around, Urban Meyer front and center, Trevor Lawrence front and center. But I'm telling you, don't sleep on a guy like Josh Allen. I think he's a very important part of this for sustainable success.
Yeah.
He's a guy you could see in Jacksonville for a long time, and that's important because that's one of the things that we talked about, that word cultivate. Like when you have a homegrown guy, when you are fortunate to draft a guy that falls to you at number 7, can you keep him? Jags found a guy in Yannick Ngakoue, couldn't keep him.
Well,
Jags
and really Jalen Ramsey kind of fell to him a little bit.
Fall to him,
yeah,
and they couldn't keep him.
Yeah.
So when you get that break, what do you do with it? And this is an organization that, quite frankly, hasn't been able to keep those guys. Josh Allen, to me, feels like he could be a 7, 8, 10-year guy here in Jacksonville. And if it's working, if it's flipping, if the ship is really turning around here in Jacksonville, I think he is part of that equation that we would look back on and say, hey, don't forget about number 41.
Yeah.
The other thing we don't talk about with Allen as much, because we say this about Caleb on Chason, is Caleb on Chason going to a 3-4 is going to help Chason, right? Well, this is a guy you asked Dave Caldwell the year he got drafted, the day after he got drafted. It's like, hey, is he going to go out and pass coverage a little bit? He comes from a 3-4. He can do all these things. He's like, we didn't draft the guy 7th overall to go out and pass coverage. But here we are a couple years later in a 3-4. How much – I don't know if he needs the defense to go to a 3-4. He already proved that he can get it done in a 4-3.
Yes.
But does he become a more dynamic player in a 3-4 with Josh Allen?
No, I absolutely think that he does. And I get where Dave Caldwell was coming from when I asked that question, because let's be honest, I was doing a 15-minute TED Talk about why they should do a 3-4 defense when they drafted Josh Allen. Now, it didn't come to fruition. It is what it is. But you can't say, all right, well, we don't want to drop Josh Allen back into coverage. He's too good rushing the passer. Yes, Josh Allen is a fantastic pass rusher. That's his primary focus. But you got to keep offensive lines, you have to keep them on their toes. And that's where that 3-4 defense comes in a little bit. That's why I was so adamant about maybe dropping back into coverage a little bit and give different looks. Because if Josh Allen's coming every single time, then double team him. When you don't have Calais Campbell. Then just double team him and see what happens. So I think with this 3-4 defense, it opens up some new stunts. It opens up some new blitzes, things like that. And actually in doing so, will Josh Allen get as many rushes as he did last year? Probably not. But I think his production's going to be higher because now it's going to be just, it's going to keep the offensive line on their toes a little more.
Yeah, well, Joe Cullen's going to love Josh Allen.
Oh,
he probably already does.
I mean,
we talk about Urban Meyer, but really Joe Cullen's going to be the guy that's really close to him and working with him and utilizing him.
So what it reminds me of, and keep in mind, I've never shared the locker room with Josh Allen. I've only spoken to him a couple times. But what it reminds me of is like a young Aaron Campman. Now, they're different from the standpoint of Aaron Campman, was like a 5th-round pick out of Iowa. Like, he had to earn his spot. He had to work hard and overcome some odds, to make the roster and all that stuff. Josh Allen's kind of been a front runner coming out of college, drafted top 10, all that stuff. But, at the same time, just the way they approach their craft, their professionalism, obviously being family men, there's a lot of similarities I see between Josh Allen and the locker room that I share with Aaron Campman. And spoiler alert, nobody loved Aaron Campman more than Joe Cullen. There's a reason why Aaron Campman came to, Jacksonville in the first place. Yeah. Obviously, the knee injuries, it is what it is. But Joe Cullen was a big reason why Aaron Campman was
That's
here.
an interesting comparison, almost 10 years later.
I just get the sense of, maturity and what they're all about. They're very comparable.
Well, and I think that's what you see. This is a guy that's very businesslike.
Yeah.
And he understands that.
Yeah.
And I think he understands that he has a special gift. and he can be really good. Yeah. And he was a guy that not everybody wanted to take the advice of Calais Campbell.
Yes.
Josh Allen wanted to soak every minute of it in, and I can't believe that's a bad thing for any player. It's one thing if you don't want to do it, fine. You might be great anyway. You might, follow somebody else, but I can't imagine it's a bad thing if you're taking, some education from Calais Campbell, and he soaked it all, much like Miles for a while soaked up everything from Puz.
Yes.
Those are two recipients of those two guys in the locker room. Hey, football at 5 coming up, plus we'll give away a couple more VIP passes to Stogy Fest 2021. It's the only place you're going to get them, folks, because it's sold out this weekend. We're live at Aromas on the South Side.
CGC Water has been telling you if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Still not a believer? Well, you can believe me. My family has been a happy CGC Water customer for 4 years now. Customer service is tremendous. We got our water tested. We were told about our options in financing in detail. No pressure, just information. Installation was quick, and the CGC team was there every step of the way. And we absolutely love it because it works. Heck, I even think my coffee tastes better because of it. And I love my coffee. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Schedule your free water test today and ask how you can save up to $500. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
We're all ready for spring. Now's the time to get ready for spring projects with help from the Home Depot. Install a brand new faucet, lay down fresh new flooring, roll on a bright new coat of paint. Need to figure square footage or paint coverage? Our project calculators will do the math. Do it all from our app and get delivery right to your door. Download our mobile app to get started. Bring on spring with innovative help from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
I love that sound. To me, it's a battle cry, because when you have a plumbing emergency, what you don't want is some chuck-in-a-truck plumber treating it as just another day on the job, scheduling you for whenever suits him.
Well, let me check on that. Hey, Bobby, when are we getting back from fishing tomorrow? Yeah, about tomorrow afternoon.
And then doing turd bucket work whenever he finally shows up, if he shows up. Well, flap that, Jack. If you've got a clogged drain, a burst pipe, or a broken water heater, you want same-day service from someone who will go to war on your problem. That's what Griffith's Service does. We offer same-day service for plumbing emergencies, burst pipes, clogged drains, and water heaters. And we'll not only go to battle against your plumbing emergency, we're also waging war against mediocrity in home services. We won't just fix your problem, we'll fix it right. So for same-day service for your plumbing emergency, call
GriffinService.com.
1430-261.
Spring is sprung, the air is warm, flowers are blooming, and the cigars are smoking. Cigars are smoking? That's right. Springtime means Stogie Fest at Aromas. A limited number of tickets are still available for the annual Stogie Fest event. Stogie Fest 2021 is May 14th through the 16th at Aromas off Southside Boulevard. Stogie Fest is for the cigar aficionado to the most occasional smoker. Join Action Sports Jacks at Stogie Fest Friday, May 14th from 3 to 6 p.m. for your chance to win a pair of Stogie Fest VIP tickets. Stogie Fest 2021, May 14th through the 16th.
Shred your goals this year with the new Metabolism Boost Banana Passion Fruit Smoothie from Smoothie King. At only 240 calories and 14 grams of protein per 20 ounces, this crave-controlling meal smoothie has non-GMO whole fruits, naturally derived caffeine, and absolutely no syrups. Or try strawberry pineapple or mango ginger. Start your healthier habit and order online at smoothieking.com. Now for pickup or delivery at any of the Jacksonville area locations. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Vote for this week's ESPN 690 High School Athlete of the Week, presented by Honda of the Avenues. Each week, an athlete with the most votes will be announced on Action Sports Jacks. To vote or nominate your favorite student athlete, go to ESPN690.com or check us out on ESPN 690's Facebook.
I'm Doug Brown. The 76ers get another chance to wrap up the top seed in the East when they host the Magic tonight. Dwight Howard is out, serving a one-game suspension after picking up his 16th technical. On ESPN tonight at 9:30 Eastern, the Pelicans and the Warriors in San Francisco. Should some NBA players, like LeBron James, perhaps, be thinking about load management even during the playoffs? ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum.
Yes, winning a championship is absolutely, that is the task at hand. And if you have better information that's actionable in terms of you have a higher risk of a soft tissue injury, I think it's about being smart, not being tough.
Mike Tannenbaum on Key J&Z. ESPN's Dan Graziano reports several NFL teams are changing their voluntary offseason programs, trying to get more players to show up. The NHL wants answers about Stanley Cup playoff travel restrictions in Canada by June 1st. In this year's format, teams from the U.S. and Canada could meet in the third round, but under current restrictions, U.S. teams wouldn't be allowed.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
So how much time did Jordan Love get on the practice field last year? Can you take me into that front row seat? Did he get much time at all in Aaron's MVP season?
He ran a scout team, and he was working with me every Saturday. I mean, we're doing over-the-shoulder ball drills, different things like that. So Jordan did get a lot of work. I mean, and then we have periods every day where we have individual periods where they're working with us and working on our development every day.
Any idea on that one?
Matt LaFleur?
No.
Talking about Jordan Love, right?
He is, yep.
It's not Aaron Rodgers. So, is it Nathaniel Hackett?
No, Aaron Jones.
Ah.
On the Rich Eisen show.
He sounded extra excited to get a new contract, and maybe Aaron Rodgers is leaving. I mean, hey, for a guy that has made like $40 million, doesn't really seem into it right now. For good reason, obviously.
We're here at Aromas on the south side. We've had some interesting conversations. Before the show, there was a big Titans fan. We've since kicked him out.
Oh, I missed him.
Yeah, you missed him. Big Derrick Henry fan.
I saw South Beach Gary sitting outside.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, so we got Dolphins represented.
Yep.
Jets fan over here.
Yes.
And so now it's interesting. We're talking about the Jets, and it's just, we were talking earlier today about the Bucs and the Patriots and how big a game that is. And understandably, nationally, Jags, Jets won't be like massive.
Yeah.
But Jags and Jets is going to be huge here in Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be huge, I think, even in New York. Because look at even Rich Eisen,
yes.
The Greenbergs of the world, the folks up in New York that said Jacksonville's Hartford with palm trees.
Yeah.
You know, for those people, it's going to be a big game for all that rhetoric to kind of come back.
Yeah.
And for Jags fans to be like, all week, we got Trevor and you have Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Depending on how they're playing, that will be amped up even more.
No, for sure.
And then coming out on the other side of it is going to be a big deal. Like I told you when we redid this, when we went over the schedule, I think that game, the Jets and the Jags, has a huge impact on the psychology of the fan base here in Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah, I think on both teams, really, without a doubt. Listen, New York Jets, they wanted Trevor Lawrence. They didn't get Trevor Lawrence, right? With a couple late-minute miracles. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they end up getting Trevor Lawrence. It's not fair to put it all in one game and say, okay, if Zach Wilson has the better game than Trevor Lawrence, it was all worth it. You can't base it off of one game. But at the same time, fans are going to be talking about it, right? We're going to be comparing Trevor Lawrence to Zach Wilson throughout the entire season. Not fair at all. I think both teams right now, they're on the come up, obviously. They have to make up a lot of ground. But you can't compare it from one game and say, all right, well, Trevor Lawrence had the better game. He's a better quarterback going forward. Or Zach Wilson had the better game. He's the better quarterback going forward. It's not fair to have that comparison.
I'm distracted a little bit because I'm entertained by the idea of this selfie that's taking place.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of hard work right now for you, man.
Oh, no.
I mean, we love you, too. Appreciate it. He was wrestling with that selfie. He was trying to get us both in the shot.
No, I saw it,
but
man.
He got it done. He got it done.
He got the job done. Got to finish the race.
I didn't know if I should smile, give the deuces.
Thank you.
It was funny watching him go through that. But, yeah, I do. I think you could make the case, man, that the Jets game might be the biggest game of the year for the Jags.
Oof. I mean, I don't know because keep in mind the Tennessee Titans are still a thing. But.
I get it, but here's the deal. If the Jags lose to the Titans, here's what we're going to say. It happened again. Derrick Henry ran over him, and they're better right now. Let's be honest. They're better. The Jets and the Jags both stink. But
here's the thing, though, Brent. You can't get a litmus test for how much progress you're making against the New York Jets because they're in the same ballpark right now, right? They're two teams coming off of horrible seasons that are trying to get better. The Jaguars can't play the Jets and say, okay, well, the Jaguars are good, they're bad. The litmus test is the Tennessee Titans because of how they play, with physicality, with a high-powered offense. If Jacksonville can come out and actually compete with the Tennessee Titans, which we haven't seen in the, past 4 or 5 years, that's going to show you, okay, maybe Urban Meyer, maybe Joe Cullen on defense, maybe they have something special here. Maybe they can compete with those physical teams like the Tennessee Titans. And that, to me, is going to be the standing point of, is this team making improvements, or are they still the same Jaguars of last year?
Yeah, I do. I'm telling you, though, that week is going to be wild. It's Christmas week. We have no idea what's going to be the case by then. Jags will be coming off a tough stretch, right? We already saw that on the schedule where it's like 7 weeks in a row, really good football teams. Heck, they're going to be the underdogs and maybe even heavy underdogs in a lot of those games.
Yeah.
We'll see how they're playing by then. We'll see what the Jets are doing. We'll see how both quarterbacks are playing. We figure both are going to start from day one. We'll see what the injuries are like. I'm just telling you, that has the potential to shape up as a very big game, whether to salvage almost the season and feel good about 6-11 or 7-10, as good as you can feel about that, whether to give one final big game for Trevor Lawrence or for the Jets fan, Zach Wilson, before the season ends, even if there won't be any playoffs. Bigger than Trevor Lawrence against Cam Newton or Mac Jones, bigger than Trevor Lawrence against Carson Wentz to finish the year in Indianapolis.
Okay.
It's just that's like the exclamation point game for one of the two teams and really one of the two quarterbacks to put on their rookie seasons. Heck, could come down to – here's the rhetoric nationally and the narrative nationally. Could be Rookie of the Year on the line in that game.
It very well could be. Let me ask you this, though. If we're talking about quarterback battles right now, and I'm going to throw Zach Wilson versus Trevor Lawrence in that list, what would you rather have Trevor Lawrence have his best game of the year? Against Zach Wilson, the New York Jets? Because keep in mind, I say Zach Wilson, but that also predicates it by saying the New York Jets or Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, they don't play them.
Well, I'm saying, but if they, I'm saying like a storied play.
So let's go. Like, how about? Is this fair just to get on the schedule? Like Russell Wilson in Seattle?
Yeah, I mean we can go with that one. Yeah.
Who else quarterback?
I mean, you can say Josh Allen, but Josh Allen's a great quarterback, maybe top 5.
That might be a better one. I like that. I like
Josh Allen.
AFC. Yeah. If you think of AFC quarterbacks right now, right? You're talking Mahomes. Yeah. They don't play Kansas City.
Jackson.
You're talking Lamar Jackson. They don't play Baltimore.
Yeah.
You're talking about Josh Allen.
Yeah.
In Buffalo, right?
Sure.
Deshaun Watson will hold off because we don't know what the heck the situation
is. And to be fair, I mean, and it's crazy to say, but Tannehill had a hell of a season last year.
Tannehill, too. I mean, listen, we could go up and down the list, right? Yeah. Joe Burrow, can you compare him to him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can go up. But I would say Josh Allen right now is on this elevator up.
Okay.
And Josh Allen, as you look at his career just 3 years in, you say, hey, look at the guys you got to compete with for the next 10 years if Trevor Lawrence is really good.
Yeah.
Well, Mahomes is one. Herbert, by the way, could also be in this conversation. Josh Allen. So I would say to your question, which is a very good question, would you rather go toe-to-toe and have the performance be against Josh Allen in Buffalo?
Yeah.
Or the Jets and Zach Wilson?
See, I guess –
is that not good enough?
No, I get what you're saying. I guess the reason why Josh Allen's a little bit of the turnoff for me just because of how Josh Allen plays the game of football. It'd be like saying Trevor Lawrence versus Lamar Jackson to an extent, where you know how Lamar Jackson's going to beat you. Like Josh Allen can beat you with his feet and his arm. Sometimes it's with his feet more than his arm. You know what I'm saying? Now he's got Stephon Diggs, who had a fantastic season last year, but I don't
Trevor
know.
that different than Josh Allen? He can run too, man.
Yeah, but
he's not
I don't
run over you. But
no,
he can run.
I just don't see
he
Trevor
can
Lawrence.
Throw on the run.
No, he can.
He's got
but
just as good of an. Well, I don't know about just as good, but he's got a great arm.
No, he does. I just don't see Trevor Lawrence doing these quarterback options, these read zones, and running the ball 10-something times a game.
He did it in the national semifinals. I don't either, but he did do it.
But once again, I don't see it happening in the NFL.
It's run that system before.
No, listen. Okay, I mean, if you want to run Trevor Lawrence,
I know what you're saying.
Okay, I guess I'm trying to say the Zach Wilson matchup's more intriguing to me because what are we going to compare? We're going to compare completion percentage. We're going to compare completions and accuracy and all that stuff. Where when you bring in the running variable, yes, Trevor Lawrence has some of that, but I think Josh Allen has him beat big time.
Yeah, I mean, how much does Josh Allen run though? Really, like in a game. I mean, I know there
I
are
don't
times.
know.
I understand that he can do it, but I don't. I still look at him as he's got a rifle of an arm.
Oh, he does, absolutely.
He's a passer. To me, the most electric stuff from Josh Allen last year was on the run stuff, and he was pinpoint like on the sidelines with some of those throws. It was terrific. So I don't know. I think he is like this guy that's taken a step. So I'm trying to put it in real context because you said Brady, but Brady's on his way out regardless. Like, he's not competing. Now, if you had Mahomes on the schedule, I think this would be a great ask.
Yeah.
Is it better to beat Mahomes or is it better to beat Zach Wilson? I'd probably give you Mahomes.
All right, so to
I
set
think
this,
Wilson's really up there in terms of this season for Trevor Lawrence. I think he almost, he has to beat Zach Wilson and the Jets.
So to set the scene, Josh Allen had 421 rushing yards with 8 touchdowns rushing.
Say it again.
421 yards with rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's quite a bit.
Do you think Trevor Lawrence can get 8 rushing touchdowns? Probably not.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
No.
That's a lot. So, yes, that's a little bit more. But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, listen, only a couple years ago, Gardner Minshew had 300 yards rushing and I don't know how many touchdowns. But, so the yardage-wise, I wouldn't be surprised if Trevor Lawrence had a couple 250, whatever, rushing. I just wouldn't. That's a fascinating discussion. I wonder where the fan base is on that in terms of who would you rather beat. I have to put that out there on a little poll or something, But I'm telling you, I think Zach Wilson, as the season builds, depending on the circumstances, that's going to be a critical game for the psyche of the Jags fan. Not so much Trevor, not so much even the Jags, probably internally, but for us, we're going to hype that up big time, no doubt about it. Hey, what's the fishing forecast look like on a beautiful weekend ahead? Let's bring in the Florida Sportsman Fishing Report right now, and Rick Riles. What's happening, Rick?
It's a beautiful weekend if you want to fly a kite, Brent Martineau.
Is it too windy? Too choppy?
Woo. The fishermen are really unhappy. I tell you what, about 11 o'clock yesterday, I was fishing, and that northwest wind came in, and it came in hard, and it is blowing really hard. Congratulations to Captain Phil Gary, by the way. He caught his first sailfish with me aboard the 7 yesterday. Big, pretty fish, put up a great fight, and we had a good time until the wind came. That shut down the whole East Coast. Now, before it got here, the tuna were biting pretty well, and the mahi were biting okay. It hadn't been excellent, but it's at least been a little better than it was. Everything's going to be inshore this weekend. The ocean is going to be closed. But that's not bad news because Captain David Voorhees has reported a good increase in the number of flounder, and there have been some big over 5-pound spawning trout that have been hitting surface lures for the last few days. So, all right, all you guys with offshore rods and reels, get new leaders ready, get your boat ready, get it fueled up, because we're going to be at the dock for a few days. But when the weather breaks, I'm predicting about the middle of next week, it'll be time to get back out to the deep water. You can count on one thing. We're going to be on the air tomorrow morning from 7 to 9 talking all about it. I've got an idea that I want to talk about tomorrow morning. I think we could fix a lot of our fisheries problems with one easy step. So we'll talk about that during the Florida Sportsman Show. We'll be back with another fishing report brought to you by Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing on Monday afternoon.
Rick loves solutions. Looking forward to that in the morning, 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. right here on ESPN 690. Have a good weekend, man.
Thank you, Brent.
All right, that is Rick Rowell's Florida Sportsman Fishing Report each and every day right here on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690 at 5:15. Let's get Steven on the line real quick if we can before we hit the happy hour horn here on a Friday, and that's a reason to be happy anyway. That and Steven's calling. What's up, man?
Hey, how you guys doing? You doing good Friday?
Doing good, man. How we doing?
Just good day.
Amen to that.
Anyways, my question was, I was listening to you guys earlier with the rookies and the rookie mini camps and the expectations of maybe even seeing them. I think this year will be more telling for the rookies, given that we actually have a preseason. I mean, if the rookies want to make an impact, our first preseason game is Cleveland Browns. I mean, they were rated the best offensive line, and I think our defense will be really tested. Even though I believe Austin will know better than me. I mean, for the offense, starters are out there? Maybe 2-3 drives tops, and then they'll probably switch out to the secondary and probably get a good idea of the other prospects. But I think the preseason will be really telling of some of these guys we got and some of the signings that we got. And I might as well put out there, Brent, I'm disappointed. You said we'd lose against Cincinnati yesterday. I was really disappointed.
Well, sorry to disappoint you.
See what you did?
Yeah.
You see what you did
I
now?
hate to send you in the weekend disappointing you, but I got news for you, Steven. It won't be the last time. Okay? It won't be the last time. Have a good weekend, man. Appreciate the call. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Let's hit the happy hour horn here on a Friday at 5 o'clock. Heading into the weekend. Should be a gorgeous weekend weather-wise. Happy hour horn time.
The good vibes. Taste the islands and every drop of Vida de Luis tequila. 100% blue agave from Tequila, Mexico. Good vibes. It's a celebration.
VitaDeLuis.com to check out Vida de Luis Tequila, the only locally owned tequila. They are owned in Jax Beach, right from Tequila, Mexico. 3 different flavors: Añejo, Reposado, Blanco. Find out where you can get a bottle of Vida de Luis Tequila on VitaDeLuis.com. Hey, find out how you can be a part of Stogy Fest 2021 right now. Here's what you do, because it's sold out all weekend long. We're at Aromas on the south side, and if you want to be a part of it, great value with a VIP ticket, usually $150 a piece. Well, we're giving away 2 tickets, a pair of them, to caller number 3 coming up right now, 904-362-9901. Caller number 3, 904-362-9901. And at will call, you'll be able to pick up your VIP tickets, a $400 value, giving away a pair of tickets. And the only way you can get them is right now on ESPN 690. We'll take a break. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690 rolls on. Heading into the weekend, we are live at Aromas on the south side. Come on out. Say hello, Stogie Fest 2021.
Should we answer Steven's question until we come back, or we just say forget it?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
I told him that it was so disappointing.
I mean, the dude had a question.
Yeah, I kind of got I lost track with the happy hour horn. We're giving away stuff. Steven, we're going to make you stay on the line.
Hey, Steven, I got your back, dude. I got your
good
back.
Good idea.
I'm going to answer
We'll talk minicamp when we come back. Hey, that's what you're here for. You got to checks and balances me sometimes.
I got to keep the 690 syndicate in order, man. That's what I do. That's what I do.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Fair to partly cloudy and breezy through the evening and overnight hours tonight. We drop into the mid to upper 50s. Partly sunny and windy Saturday. Highs in the 70s at the beaches to around 80 inland. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where you get the lowest diamond price guaranteed or your money back.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talent Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talent Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
CGC Water has been telling you if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Still not a believer? Well, you can believe me. My family has been a happy CGC Water customer for 4 years now. Customer service is tremendous. We got our water tested. We were told about our options in financing in detail. No pressure, just information. Installation was quick, and the CGC team was there every step of the way. And we absolutely love it because it works. Heck, I even think my coffee tastes better because of it. And I love my coffee. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Schedule your free water test today and ask how you can save up to $500. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
It's Good Morning at Moe's in St. Augustine only at 312 and US 1. It's the only Moe's in the country serving breakfast burritos. Full breakfast menu only at the St. Augustine location. Made to order food in the drive-thru. Hot, fresh breakfast on the go. Make it a better morning with Moe's Southwest Grill. Start your days with the home wrecker breakfast burrito. St. Augustine location only, served daily at 6 a.m. Moe's is ready to serve you breakfast. Make it a better morning with Moe's.
You know what's good today? Arlington's Credit for Everyone program. If your beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's working hard every day and getting almost everyone approved. With over 300 pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs to choose from, Arlington has what you're looking for. So much selection. You also get a 30-day exchange policy with your purchase. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Now that's good. Shop in person at 10939 Atlanta Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Spring is sprung, the air is warm, flowers are blooming, and the cigars are smoking. Cigars are smoking? That's right. Springtime means Stogie Fest at Aromas. A limited number of tickets are still available for the annual Stogie Fest event. Stogie Fest 2021 is May 14th through the 16th at Aromas off Southside Boulevard. Stogie Fest is for the cigar aficionado to the most occasional smoker. Join Action Sports Jacks at Stogie Fest Friday, May 14th from 3 to 6 p.m. for your chance to win a pair of Stogie Fest VIP tickets. Stogie Fest 2021, May 14th through the 16th.
Hey, do you owe more than $25,000 on your car, a truck, or that toy in the driveway? Refinance your auto loan with One-to-One Financial. We'll not only lower your payments, but we'll put $200 cash in your pocket. Plus, we have the lowest loan rates in town. Make some room in your budget and put more cash in your pocket. When you refinance with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Apply today at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Where else can you get luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials? Only one place, at Colhane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the south side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters And they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. ColhainesIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new Five Sisters vodka at happy hour. Lunch and brunch and booze and specials and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the South Side. Colhane's Irish Pub, Irish Sass with 5-star class.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane of Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. If you didn't catch today's episode, I'm not mad at you, not even disappointed, but check out what you missed.
What's like the concept?
It's like mini games that you kind of compete battle royale style, but it's mini games and you just try to, be the last one standing essentially.
Let me try this again. So what is the concept?
It'll be
English.
English.
Check out our podcast on all platforms. Just search ESPN 690. Subscribe to our podcast. Thanks.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Brent Martineau.
Then I said, still looking for his 4th career sack.
Austin Lane.
I'm spending pretty much every single day with somebody for pretty much 2 years now that you know somebody. And they surprise you. I sit here before you right now, and I am surprised.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
The whole deal in Carolina, it is what it is. I told him, once the season ended that I wear big boy draws, man, and I understand the nature of this business, and it's a performance-based business. And I could sit up here and say, okay, Christian got hurt, or we didn't have this, didn't have that, but that's not me. I look in that mirror and I say, hey, you got to tighten up, So it's, little things, that I could have done better. As an organization, it's things that, you can do better as well. But I think, man, I'll just say this for Joe Brady's growth. I think, man, like that organization, they'll have to just practice different things, in different ways. Like one of the things we didn't do much of when I was there, we didn't practice 2 minute, really. We didn't practice red zone.
The most important
What?
That
Oh, you got that one?
is Teddy Bridgewater.
Wow.
Teddy Bridgewater essentially.
Did Coos tell you this?
No.
Okay.
Well, it's Teddy Bridgewater when he mentioned Christian McCaffrey. And
yeah,
then I also saw a headline recently that he kind of ripped the way the Panthers practiced.
Huh.
And that's what he just did. And I mean, by the way, that is hard to fathom, that an NFL team wouldn't practice a lot of red zone and what else did he say, 2-minute drill?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like every practice I go to in the NFL, there's a 2-minute drill.
Yeah, it's kind of, that's like tradition.
Third down, 2-minute drill, red zone. Like, do
goal
you practice
line.
anything else in the NFL?
Goal line. Oh, you get a little goal line every once in a while.
I mean,
that's where the boys become men.
So he takes a shot at Joe Brady and the Panthers right there, which is pretty interesting. Now, he's been around a very good offense with the Saints and what they practiced, and Sean Payton and Drew Brees, and maybe they really pounded that home. Maybe that was more insight on what Brees and the Saints did of like, hey, we did this a lot, reps, and maybe it's obvious the Panthers didn't do that nearly as much. At least that's my view on it. But I mean, you got to practice it. I can't imagine they didn't practice it a lot.
And when we always talk about the NFL, parity, right? Like, you got to think in terms of the red zone and the practices. Like, there's got to be parity of how offensive guys go about conducting their practices. But maybe not. Maybe Carolina's the outlier. Who knows?
Has not South Beach Gary, Steve called in yet again and asked, did we answer the question yet?
No,
Probably
man,
not.
But like I said, I got Steven's back.
You
So,
do.
yeah.
So he's talking about camp. So answer the question or his thoughts.
What? Wait, was the question about camp?
It was about on the field, right? About rookie minicamp?
No, definitely the question was about how many reps each of these guys are going to get. Like, how much confidence does it give you playing the Cleveland Browns, knowing they have a good offense and stuff like that? You definitely didn't listen to Steven's question, did you?
I guess I didn't listen to it all. Coos was talking to me.
No, but to answer Steven's question, how big of a game is it playing the Cleveland Browns, who are obviously one of the best teams in the AFC? How much confidence can you gain from that? Absolutely. I mean, you can definitely gain confidence, right? This team went, to the playoffs, and they did all right with an okay showing. So that's going to be a conversation in this pregame meeting. it's going to be, hey, we're playing the Cleveland Browns. They're good on both sides of the ball. We got to shut down their run. We got to do this. We got to do that. So it is promising. But like, to answer Steven's question fully, I don't know what it's going to look like this year. Because we're talking about a 17-game season, number one. We're talking about only 3 preseason games, number 2. And we're talking about Urban Meyer, his first year in the NFL. So I don't know how the reps are going to be divvied. I don't know, in terms of getting the looks for all the players, if Trevor Lawrence plays one series, if he plays one quarter. I have no idea what it's going to look like. But if he's in there for an extended period amount of time, and the starting defense is in there for an extended period amount of time, then yes, if they perform well, it should be talked about, because assuming Cleveland does the exact same thing with their starters, it would be a good test to see where exactly the Jaguars are after, one preseason game.
See, I think it's fascinating how they treat that first preseason game, really the whole preseason. There's 2 ways to go. We talked about this the other day when the schedule came out. But Tom Coughlin, Doug Marrone, they said, hey, we're going to go a little bit longer. We're going to break a little bit of tradition here, and it's not going to be your typical, first quarter and out, or 2 series and out of that first game, and then maybe a little bit in the second quarter. They went a little bit longer. Now, maybe not even as long as they advertised they might go, but they had those guys ready to play longer in the preseason in the early games than I think most teams did. Now, keep in mind, that was during the same time, I don't know if it was 17, but maybe it was 18, when, Sean McVay and the Rams didn't play a lick in the preseason. And so we had that dynamic going. Well, what's interesting about the preseason now is, one, how will Urban Meyer treat it? Certainly that's how physical does he want to get in terms of the camp, but also how much does he want to risk guys getting hurt? How does he feel about depth? How does he feel about his quarterback taking a shot or 2, whatever that might be? I always think that's the biggest wrestling match. That's where you keep your fingers crossed, because the worst thing to do of any team, and it happens, is to get your any big player hurt in the preseason. It's just what you – let me start the season. It's bad enough Nick Foles. It's bad enough Allen Robinson the time they got hurt.
Yeah.
But at least they started the season and got hurt. That's just part of it. Give me that way more than give me the guy that gets hurt in the first or second preseason game and you don't have him. That's tough to stomach.
Yeah.
But I'll also say this. What we don't know is which game is going to be treated more like the 4th preseason game. What we've learned in the NFL is there are basically 2 games. That's the way the coaches have treated this the last couple of years. And so now that there's 3 and that 4th one's eliminated, one of those games is going to turn into something like the 4th preseason game. Is it the first one where they want to not start right away, or is it the 3rd one? And I don't know the answer to that. So to Steven's point, to the way you're answering this, I don't think we know, because I don't think we know which way the league is going to go on these 3 games.
I think it has to go the 3rd preseason game is the one that they're going to be chilling on.
Really?
For sure, because if you look at the regular season's now extended. And we always talk about, they hit the rookie wall, whatever the case may be. You only still have 1 bye week, right? So I think if you take all of that criteria into play, one would think that 3rd preseason game is going to be for the reserves, and the 2nd and 3rd stringers, and you start the first string guys so they're ready by week 1 on a long, grueling season ahead. So if I was Urban Meyer, if I was any coach in the NFL, I would focus on, all right, the first game, maybe, and once again, it's different because Trevor Lawrence, you got Travis Etienne. It's different with that. But I would probably say, all right, guys, let's go there. Let's get 2 or 3 series, and let's get out. If we're talking the second game, then I would probably focus on maybe a quarter or maybe even a half. Now, once again, you got to find that happy medium. Maybe it depends how the drives are looking. Maybe it depends how the defense is looking, all that stuff. But I would at least try to play my starters through the first quarter, depending how they look. And if they're not looking good, then I take them through the first half. The 3rd preseason game, everyone's resting, and, the guys trying to make the roster spot get showcased then.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do treat that. I'm fascinated in it. I'm also fascinated in, some of the people that you see here at Aromas on the south side. We're here until 6 o'clock. Stogie Fest 2021 just gave away a couple of VIP passes for Stogie Fest 2021, which is sold out. So if you were listening to ESPN 690, you got yourself a heck of a value for the weekend. But Austin's up there grabbing me a Diet Coke, which I very much appreciate in the commercial break, and getting a water for yourself. I think that's just water.
No, it's just water. Don't worry.
You've got to still fight camp.
I'm training coming up.
But I notice what I'm trying to figure out is how many people know Austin from the radio show? How many people know Austin from, athletic stuff like MMA, or most likely more the Jags?
Yeah.
Or how many people just know Austin from the beach bars?
Well, yeah.
And I think I just think we had a beach bar reference.
No, we definitely had a beach bar.
That was my assumption watching it from afar.
Yeah, we definitely had a beach bar reference. Apparently, this girl who texted her dad was like, "Hey, you know so-and-so from Jacksonville Beach?" And I'll be honest, when I find myself in a situation where I don't know the person, but I'm in a hurry and I have to get back to do the radio show, I said, "Oh, yeah." I had no idea who the guy was. To be honest with her. She mentioned the dude's name. I said, "Oh, yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. We used to go to the Ritz." Made up a bar name. It is what it is. Have no idea who she was talking about, but the conversation was de-escalated, and I'm back here with your Diet Coke and my ice water.
Which is most important, by the way.
Yes, exactly.
But, my dad used to tell me stories. Like, he would go out on, these – this doesn't happen in the world as much as it used to, but he was in the sales business, and so they would go entertain quite a bit, like with dinner or something.
Yeah.
And so he'd tell me stories like, that guy is here so often that he's got his name on the bar. So my point and question to you is, do you have your name on the bar anywhere? At the beach?
Man, not at the – I mean, I've probably been on the game so long, Brent, they probably took my name down if it was there. I am reminded when it was my birthday at Jacksonville Beach, and the Ritz put up "Happy Birthday, Austin," but for whatever reason,
you got a sign?
Yeah, but they spelled my name wrong, obviously.
Of course.
So then,
Did
they really care though at the time? No, I mean
really.
it was because it was funny. It was after that Thursday night football game against the Indianapolis Colts. I sacked Andrew Luck.
Oh, it's a beautiful night.
I was a team captain. Friends and family were in town. It was Thursday night, right? Well, Friday we had off because the game was Thursday night. So Friday night, let's go, right? So they had my name spelled wrong on the thing, and I remember we pull up, and one of my best friends was like, "Dude, they spelled your name wrong." I'm like, "Yeah, man, not a big deal though, is it?" And he's like, "No, that's disrespectful." So like he goes into the man. So he goes into the place and makes a huge deal about it. Wants to speak to the manager and I felt so bad. I'm like, "Dude, just relax."
We're trying to do something nice.
They had a poor girl up there on a ladder changing the I to the E. So my name was spelt right on the "Happy Birthday, Austin"
That is
sign.
awesome.
Like it mattered to me.
That's terrific, though. That says a lot that they had a happy birthday sign out there.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I pumped so much money through that place, it was the least they could do.
That's a big moment.
It was a huge moment. But no, I don't think I have my name anywhere. Places back home, though, I'm sure my name's still around some.
Those. Pickle.
Well, no, not the pickle, but those towny bars. Let's just call them. But that's the thing too. Like growing up in taverns in central Wisconsin, like. If somebody new walks in, you're going to talk to them. Like, it's a very social setting. I have to say it's not like that in Jacksonville as well, but, it is a little more people keep to themselves. If you find yourself in a central Wisconsin bar and you've never been there before, someone's going to wonder who you are, where you're from, and they're going to pop a seat next to you and probably buy you a shot while they're at it.
Speaking of pumping, I'm very low on gas. We were just talking about this yesterday. We're like, we don't plan ahead very often. Like, I let mine go all the way down.
Oh, I was empty last night.
And I'm like, I'm proud. I got a live shot at 6:50 on TV.
Yeah.
Just down the road, there's some softball playoff games. We're going to just go do it from there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I'm going to make it if I don't get to gas. So have we had any issues with gas? Because I haven't been at all this week.
So I'm going to tell you this. This occurred to me last night because I was running on fumes. And I'm like, well, hopefully they have gas. I stopped by the gas station. They had plenty of gas. And I'm not going to lie. You're not going to like the price of it. All right, it's not going to be the best price.
I never look.
But once again, backyard fireplace. It is what it is.
Why get mad? You got to pay it.
I mean,
it's
do
not
what
like
you got to do.
Can negotiate. Like I don't understand why people look at gas prices. Like you can't negotiate that. Hey, can I drop it 10 cents if I put 20 gallons?
Trying to go to the cashier and haggle a little bit for the gas price.
So I never look at the gas price because I just don't like.
Yeah.
I love the people that will go like down the road 5 miles because it's 2 cents cheaper.
Oh, I know. It's
like,
just out of principle,
did you do the
right?
math on that?
Oh, I know exactly. It's out of principle though. No, I feel like I grew up in a household like that. But no, I think you're going to have an okay time finding gas. I did last night at least, so you should be good. I mean, are you taking premium? What are you taking? Unleaded?
No,
just straight up unleaded?
87.
Okay, well, hey, man.
That's it.
I mean, there's premium cars out there too now.
Yeah, I don't have to put that in.
Okay.
I don't feel like it's been – they actually really, in reality, said we should not be that impacted. So
Yeah.
don't go panic and go all toilet paper on
Yeah.
us.
Do you think?
Right? Isn't that essentially what they
Exactly. I mean, a lot of people in power have come out and said that. Meanwhile, do you think Elon Musk right now is just sitting back with a cigar in his mouth thinking, come buy a Tesla?
I was thinking of that, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry, having gas problems?
Yeah.
What is this, 2000? Come
Yeah.
on, get a Tesla.
I really did think about that when
Yeah.
it came about. I was like, I wonder if this is a long-term thing, things
Yeah.
are going to be well for the old Tesla,
Mhm.
for sure. All right, hey, let's take a break. We're at the Aromas on the south side. We come back, put a bow on it. What do we got? UFC 262?
Yeah.
262 this
In
weekend.
Houston, correct.
This feels like we just had a big UFC event. And here we
did.
coming-
Here we
I
go.
know
I mean,
did here.
yeah.
I'm just saying, but is this pretty quick to come back with another big one? Just like
no, it's
3 weeks later. Is that about the normal time?
It's pretty standard. I mean, I would say it's a little quicker just because their fans are back now. So
It's
Dana's
closer
trying
to a
to,
month, actually.
yeah. So Dana's trying to pump out, all these big cards with the fans back. But it's pretty standard.
Yeah.
Like you usually have a big card once every month.
I was going to say, maybe because things are opening back up, because you have more fans, maybe you see more events to try to cash in on the
Absolutely.
excitement, the people want, the thirst of it, right?
Yeah.
Let me go to an event.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So you might see maybe even a little bit more regular than they normally were.
Yep.
But we'll talk about UFC 262. We put a bow on the week. What to expect tomorrow out of Jags rookie minicamp when we get a peek for an hour on Trevor Lawrence in this 2021 draft class and the new coaching staff for the Jaguars. We'll be back live from Aromas on the South Side here on ESPN 690.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahente.
How many teams really need to change the starting quarterback position? That list is probably 4 or 5 teams. They are. Washington, Chicago. Let's throw Carolina in there, even though they have a starter. Patriots is 4. Who else?
Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Zubin. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio or streaming live on the ESPN app.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
It's Good Morning at Moe's in St. Augustine only at 312 and US 1. It's the only Moe's in the country serving breakfast burritos. Full breakfast menu only at the St. Augustine location. Made to order food in the drive-thru. Hot, fresh breakfast on the go. Make it a better morning with Moe's Southwest Grill. Start your days with the home wrecker breakfast burrito. St. Augustine location only, served daily at 6 a.m. Moe's is ready to serve you breakfast. Make it a better morning with Moe's.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey folks, living in Florida, we don't really worry about the seasons except for one, hurricane season. And since your home is your most important asset, protecting your home with Rhino Shield against harsh Florida weather is good for your house and it's good for your budget. As the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to your house, those cracks in the walls will cost you thousands if not repaired. Rhino Shield waterproofs your home with a coating that's 13 times thicker than box store paint. It reflects 97% of harmful UV rays, has a Class A fire rating, is salt air corrosive resistant, contains the highest quality ceramics, and of course it comes in any color. Plus, with our 25-year warranty, you get a non-prorated 100% transferable warranty that guarantees against chipping, cracking, and peeling. So call 904-519-5055 or visit rhinoshieldjacks.com and protect your house and your budget.
So you'll never have to paint again. Call Rhino Shield today.
Vacations are coming back, so before you hit the road, get your vehicle checked out by the pros at Honda of the Avenues. Honda of the Avenues Service Department continues to get 5 stars for their certified technicians using certified parts. The new Express Service Center is now open, so stop by if you need an oil change, tires, battery, wiper blades, or if you need any repairs to your vehicle. Awarded the 2021 Dealer Rater Consumer Satisfaction Award. Honda of the Avenues. Easy to find on Phillips Highway south of 295 or at HondaoftheAvenues.com. The Honda Giant.
Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 10, you have a right to safety. Many businesses have a duty to keep their property safe from violence. This applies to apartments, shopping centers, and other businesses. They may have to provide appropriate lighting, secure windows, gates, as well as on-site security. At Rubenstein Law, we offer a free evaluation of your case if you or a loved one have been assaulted. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Offices in Jacksonville and throughout Florida.
I should have my kid tell you about Jumpin' Jack's House of Food. It's Ty's favorite burger in town. Make it one of your favorites as well. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food has 3 locations now, Atlantic Beach, Mandarin, and downtown Jacksonville. Change your life burgers. But they have salads, pizza, and much more on the menu, too. Let Jumpin' Jack's House of Food be your great neighbor. Lunch or dinner with the family, or they will cater parties from 2 to 500 people. Jumpin' Jack's, HOF.com for online ordering. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, open 7 days a week.
Just be ready. Just be laid back. Just be confident. Whether you're looking to buy, refinance, or fix up your home, or for a new car to get there, count on Community First for low rates and fast answers. We make smarter borrowing easy and convenient, so you can relax, knowing you've got a loan that fits your life and your budget. Apply today at justbeyourself.com. That's justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 podcast. Just search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
I'm never really going to say anything bad or talk badly about any of our players or contradict them. And I think for me that extends to former players. So, I'm on record as stating how I feel about Teddy. I expect him to do great things. I will always cheer for him. I'm sorry that maybe he doesn't maybe feel the same way about some things, but for me, I'm going to be the same guy. I'm going to continue to always support the guys who played for me. But I feel really good about what we do. I want to make sure I say that I feel really good about the way we practice and our process. I'm disappointed to hear that he didn't feel the same way.
That is Matt Rhule, rebuttal to Teddy Bridgewater. Kuz, you don't like the fact that ESPN was still talking Tim Tebow this morning, huh?
Oh, it's like how many more angles can you really have on it,
I don't know. I was planning on like a 2-hour show on it until you said that.
I mean, he is the gift that keeps on giving. Twitter has never been hotter for me. I need him. Well, what else am I talking about? What else am I talking about these days? I got nothing else. But you want me to go back to anime talk?
Well,
that got me nothing.
Look, the Big Brother season trailer announced.
Let me go ahead and stop you right there. Let me go ahead and cut you off there.
That's the highlight for you?
Well, it's something to talk about.
Let's go ahead and see if Big Brother's trending.
I had to go make sure that my Big Brother Fantasy League was still active and we're good to go for next year.
I don't get it. I don't get that. Like, I can't come up. We were just talking about this. We were just talking. People do different things, right? And you're like, I can't. I don't know. I just don't see myself doing this or that.
Sure.
And I always say, and I just told Austin, I just said in the break, I said, I always try to put it in context of this. It's like, listen, I like to go play golf. There's a lot of people that don't get that, right? They don't understand, it's boring.
Well,
it's
even with me, I'm not the biggest golfer, but at least if I go out, if we're at a location and hit some balls, I'm like, I get it. I could definitely come around with you. Big Brother, I can't.
Well, that's another example of one. Like, I always have said this to I want to go hunting.
Okay.
With somebody that knows what they're doing.
I mean, I can take you hunting. Been. We go back to Wisconsin, go hunting, man, if you want.
But I seriously want to go because I've never been. But the people that I know that hunt on a regular basis love it.
Let me ask you a question.
Like, can't live without it, kind of love it. Like, I can live without golf. Like, I go through stretches where I itch to play golf.
Sure.
And then other times I don't. But so to me, that's always what I say. I'm like, well, I really want to go with somebody. Like I always said, that's like Brad Meester when he was around. I was like, take me up to your place in Georgia so we can go hunting because I want to know why you love it so much.
You got to come to Wisconsin with those giant white-tailed deers there.
Well, there we go. Then let's go.
Hey, have you ever fired a shotgun before?
Huh?
Have you ever fired a shotgun before?
No.
See? I mean, you got to do that.
I've done the clays.
No, I mean, that's still a shotgun, though, right?
Does that count?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like with bullets.
You've done skeet shooting.
Yeah.
It's bird shot. But yeah, it's still firing a shotgun.
So that counts. Fair enough.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Small technicality.
Yeah.
But
I'll allow it.
But I haven't even done that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so.
By the way, Big Brother not even in the top 30 trends right now on Twitter. iCarly is, though, Coots. What does that say about your show?
That's because it was announced yesterday. That was yesterday's news.
Oh,
Big Brother was?
So fantasy
Yeah.
But, Coots, I mean, is it, we talking celebrities, just random people?
No, just random people. It's better that way.
Is it, though?
Yeah, because then the whole like, at least from the fantasy Big Brother perspective, is you kind of have to judge a book by a cover, and then the whole show is them ruining that kind of character you've created in your head.
Okay.
All right, Kuz, I do have one quick question for you, and then we got a UFC 262, and I'll run out of time. And
I
then
mean,
also
I have
we'll get
so
mad
many
at me.
questions about fantasy Big Brother, but go ahead.
But, Kuz, you're a big NBA guy. Will you watch the Hall of Fame ceremony tomorrow?
Probably not.
Yeah, you know, I say that because it's interesting. I'm like a big baseball guy.
Sure.
And I think the moments of it are great, but I don't watch it.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm with
it's
you.
kind of boring to
Yeah.
me, to be honest. Now, this will be a little different with the Kobe Bryant tributes and him being a part of it is going to take on some different meaning. But I'm just talking in general. Even the Pro Football Hall of Fame, we've had such a focus on it because maybe it's Brian Dawkins, right? Or we're hoping for a Baselli or a Jags player. So I'll watch a bit of it, but I can't tell you I'll watch every speech, every presentation. To me, that's a little bit of a snoozer. Show me the highlights. And again, I mean, Cooperstown's one of my favorite places. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
But I don't watch it very much.
Yeah,
I peek in and out, but, like, that's not appointment TV for me.
No, I'm
it
I'm
won't
the
be
same
tomorrow.
way.
I mean, it's just, like, again, I'll see the highlights of it. I'll see the big moments from it, but I won't really sit there for hours and watch it.
No, it's amazing. Even, like, I think back to, like, when Jordan retired and all that stuff. Like, I was obviously a huge fan. Like, I didn't go out of my way to watch the retirement speech. I mean, I've seen it, obviously. I've seen it on YouTube and everything, but I didn't go out of my way to watch it. I agree with you. It's just, for me, it's not must-see TV. It's almost like, I make fun of this all the time, but it's almost like the 60 Minutes of sports, you know, where 60 Minutes, it's a good show. Just not for me, though.
Yeah.
It's not for me, Brent.
Yeah, now I'll probably be more apt to watch 60 Minutes. You know why?
Well, hey,
because I know it's over in 60 minutes.
I'll tell you what, though. I watch over Big Brother every
Yes, I
single
will.
time. Every single time. Give me is Mickey Rooney still on? Is he passed? I don't know. Is he passed? R.I.P. to Mickey Rooney. But whoever's on there, I'd watch. Anderson Cooper's on there, right?
I think he is.
Okay, I'll watch Anderson Cooper over some Joe Schmo trying to, I don't know, do a game and then win a competition.
Hey, the Broncos have released Jawan James, by the way, who suffered that torn Achilles.
Really?
They released him. No word on the payment stuff and everything else, but they released him.
Well, one would think that if you release them, there is no payment. Yeah.
That's interesting. Iceman is sold out tonight. Jumbo Shrimp remain on the road. You can listen to ESPN 690. We've got a lot of softball, like college softball, high school softball tonight. We'll be at high school football spring games start tonight. Believe it or not, I still always think that's wild. I'll tell you the difference between where I'm from and in the South, especially when it comes to football, because we don't have high school spring games, I don't think. I don't think they still do it in Rhode Island. Now, they didn't do it 20 years ago, and I don't think they still do it.
Yeah.
But they certainly do it around here. JU Women's Lacrosse, by the way, playing Vanderbilt tonight in the NCAA tournament. Look out. They're very good. So we'll have that for you on the TV side, CBS 47 and Fox 30. UFC 262 tonight. This weekend.
Yeah.
Another big card. What are you looking forward
Huge
to?
card, yeah.
What should I watch?
262. Anytime it's actually a real pay-per-view card. It's going to be a barn burner. Main event: Charles Oliveira taking on Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler, his second fight in the UFC, already fighting for the lightweight belt. Comes from Bellator. Knocked out Dan Hooker. It was a great, first kind of fight for Michael Chandler. People say he's undeserving of getting that title shot. Taking on a guy like Charles Oliveira, kind of the next great fighter from Brazil, if you will. Great everywhere. Fantastic jiu-jitsu, has really increased his striking. And the co-main event, it is must-see TV, because anytime you have Tony Ferguson, a.k.a. El Kukui, you got to check him out. Taking on Benel Dariush, and this is an interesting
Ferguson's
fight.
The big kick.
I'm sorry?
He was the big kick earlier this year, right?
Nope. Ferguson was the guy that fought Justin Gagey and got like absolutely bloody.
Okay.
Remember?
Yes,
we had Justin Gagey on the show talking about him.
Yeah, I remember.
So Tony Ferguson's back. Says he's trained up his camp a little bit. He's cut some guys loose, if you will. You know, obviously with the personality of Tony Ferguson, just an absolute chaotic individual. Pressure. Has a chin for days. Refuses to quit. Against a guy like Benel Dariush, who is just methodical, but it's definitely, they're both strikers, both high volume, but qualities and styles. So that's going to make for a must-see. Since it's me, I got to go and make some winners here. Give me Oliveira and give me the upset of Tony Ferguson beating Dariush.
Must-see TV, UFC 262, of course, in commercial breaks of Big Brother. Or in between your fantasy draft of Big Brother. You know, however that works for Cootie. Hope you have a great weekend. It's supposed to be really nice weather-wise. So go out there, enjoy it. We appreciate you listening on ESPN 690. Thanks for having us out here at Stogie, and Stogy Fest.
Stogy Fest, there you go.
2021 is all weekend long. Have fun for those that won the VIP passes. The Jumbo Shrimp coming up in just a bit on ESPN 690. I'll see you on TV all weekend long, CBS 47 and Fox 30. Have a good one, everybody.
Boss, you're not going to believe what I found on the internet.
What, the moon is hollow?
No, not that. This. I just did a search and found yard signs for alarm systems for sale.
What? Just the sign? Just, like, without the security system?
Yeah. Look, you can get a big blue alarm sign for about $25. Ooh, delivered tomorrow.
They must not give a flip about their reputation.
Or their real customers.
Right. I bet you can't find a Safe Touch security sign on that thing.
Boss, Safe Touch wouldn't be involved in something